That's right, turn that shit up, man.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Keepin' It 100.
I was trading up.
100.
Yes! What? Here it is! Just recorded.
There's no competition.
Keepin' It 100.
The people drop off, but we still keep rocking.
I know we need to run the ball more. I'm not an idiot.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Open competition.
Keeping it 100.
The smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. The dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man and Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the faking anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shayne's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shayne got some haters. But now they're mouthed up like the true and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sack strolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shayne. 100's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the armchair. The tape never lies, the truth you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Max Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keepin' It 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Draft Dr.
Keepin' It 100.
Keeping it 100.
Shayne, Money Man Marsaw, and the guard.
No, we're very economical, my family.
The following show is for mature audiences only. Shy City Sports.
The tape never lies.
And I'm like, you know what?
Basically the brand of intelligence of like the kid at the cash register who has to count chicks your personality or essential of who you are and throws it as far away as it possibly can get. And now I hope that there's hope.
Yo, this is Claudio the Barb, and this is Shy City Sports Keeping It 100. Breaking news, Andy Dalton's QB1 and Aaron Rodgers' QB douche. All right, listen, we got another great show for you tonight. For all you Canucks out there, we got CFL coach Jeff Reinebold coming on. And you know what? Let's just get to the boys here. Let's bring them in. Here's the soon-to-be diaper-changing machine, Shayne, the smartest man, Marsaw, and Draft Dr. Phil. What is up, boys? What's going on?
I gotta apologize from the jump. I'm in my new studio with nothing on the wall, so you're gonna hear an echo. I look like double A face fucking a jelly donut right now on my microphone.
The hair is on point. The hair is on point. For sure.
He's got a new haircut.
Yeah. But yeah,
we're ready to go to be a day shaved.
Yeah, that didn't go over well with the boss upstairs. But I want to be able to kiss my daughter, not give her whisker burn. So we'll see what happens.
You're in the doghouse for shaving, but you're in the penthouse for being a dad, right?
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time coming. It's been a crazy ride for the last 9 months for sure, but I'm repping a little bit of pink here, repping for my daughter that I get to meet here in a handful of hours. So we take off about 5 a.m. and then the party starts. So it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
It's like a plane taking off.
Yeah. I went up and bought a bag of Doritos, and I was holding them. You see that Doritos Super Bowl commercial? The dad's eating the chips, and the daughter comes out. That didn't work. I tried it, but
no, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it's crazy in this world. You can schedule a birth. The most miraculous thing probably in the world. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Happens every day. Every
all
second.
I have to say is I'm so glad I am not a woman. You guys have heard me say it on the show. I don't like having a sliver in my body, let alone a human like that. No, couldn't handle it.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thanks.
I know it hasn't happened yet, but you're gonna be a dad. You're what, 44?
44. Yeah. Gonna be a dad.
You're about to be 45.
You look 34. Everybody in the chat thinks you look younger.
Yeah, I'm an old man.
They're liking the shave. They liking it.
Cherie was asking. She thought I was going to be the 11th, but the doctors pushed it up due to some medical drama that we dealt with last week with Ela. So we're on our way here about 5 a.m. to get this going. And see. That's how committed we are. I got to be up here real soon.
The guy, I told him, take the day off if you want. He didn't want to do it. But he wants to be here.
This is why right here.
10K.
Oh, yes. 10,000 subscribers.
Unbelievable
Growth. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Of the channel in just 10 months' time. We've gotten 10. That's $1,000 subscribers a month, not $1,000.
Also,
thinking of Angelo.
Also, Angelo's income he was asking for, right?
Oh man.
Yes, 10,000. We hit the 10,000 mark the other day, so maybe there's more now. So we can't thank you guys, you fans, you crazy fans enough. I've got players DMing me. You guys are the fucking shit. Keep it up. We got former players, as you know, saying the same thing, as well as you fans. Of course, if you don't have haters, you ain't doing it right. You're not doing it right. We have haters. Even someone's gonna hate on Shayne having a baby tomorrow.
You know who it'll be. You know who it'll be.
You're just doing it for attention, Shayne.
Right? Yeah, doing it for attention. I'm not. Yeah, Claudio was telling me about a podcast that he listened to. It was at a whole different fucking level. But we won't get it. We won't get into that. But I do apologize for the echo. I don't have any furniture in here. My desk didn't come in yet, so I sound like I'm in an echo chamber. But we'll dress it up here real good here pretty soon when things settle down in the Marsaw household. But I got some dope stuff to go up on the wall. I think everybody will like. So we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Obviously, new baby, a lot of stuff changing here at TTNL, the Tape Never Lies Network. We're going to have a lot of stuff to announce in the next coming months as we get closer to kickoff. And kickoff, I mean preseason football. I watch every snap at this network. We'll be breaking down the Chicago Bears like nobody else out there does. And we'll be breaking down preseason reps. I think we even have, we have one rep.
But it's a good one, man.
It's a good rep.
We love it. It's from Emory Hunt's 52nd ranked running back. That's good to see. But Claude, you can, I don't know if you still have that up, that quote of David Montgomery talking.
Yeah, you can read that quote.
I'll read it out. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
You got it right now. Well, I want to say that's our first glimpse of rookie quarterback Justin Fields dropping a dime, Claudio. Again.
Oh, yeah. We should see that. We should see that a few times.
Running back.
So, yeah. So, Montgomery said today about Justin Fields, quote, Justin Fields is a freakish athlete. He carries that leader mantra that you rarely see from rookies. He's great. It's good to see him. He looks great out there. That's from our boy.
Friend of the show, David Montgomery.
He's loving him some Fields.
He's loving some Fields early on. You saw him adjust to the ball. I mean, if you're questioning this guy, and I'm talking about David Montgomery's hands, as well as his ability to be a receiver, you had Rashad Whitfield, the footwork king, talking about what he could do. His coach, his former Iowa State head coach, was talking about how they had to struggle to keep him out from playing wide receiver because he was so talented out there. Hopefully, Coach Nagy understands how to use this guy this season so he could shut up some of these fucking blog boys and these haters.
Yeah, it's like I said, man, I think it still comes down to a lot of people just looking at that Madden rating and looking at the speed and underselling him for that. And listen, Matt Forte was not the fastest guy, and I'll be very honest here. I'm never have been the biggest Matt Forte fan.
Right.
He blocked me on Twitter because of it, but whatever. I'm in a loving mood. I love everybody except you, Double A, you fucking pussy. We'll see you soon too. But anyways, you got to drop the fucking hammer, Phil.
You are dropping a lot of hammers.
Yeah.
a lot of feistiness.
Yeah. Well, we use names. We use names. We'll address it.
We address people by their biggity attitudes, their ignorant attitudes. We keep it 100.
Yeah, it is.
We don't
it is what it is. But
we don't clip bite, sound drop, sound clip anybody. We try to
It's called jealousy, Phil. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's jealousy.
There's a lot to love about this network. Obviously, it's the only time stats really matter. 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
If you're just checking in at TTNL on our YouTube channel. If you're a big fan of this show, as Ray is saying, blog boys get no fucking love. He's 100% right. I love this dude. Ray. Shout out to you, Ray. If you're a fan of this show, we have a Facebook private group where you guys can post. You can post your show or your thoughts there.
And it's tough questions to get in there, though, Phil. Real tough.
Yeah. You got
to study a long time.
I've met some of our fans. I'm not sure if they can pass this test or not. We'll see.
Hopefully, you can answer some of the TTNL trivia and the Chicago Bears trivia that we have, so you can get into there. But it's a lot of fun in there, a lot of discussion. Shayne and I interact as much as we can. This guy might keep you out of there. Where is it?
Hold on. I got to address this. Yes, that was me, Brian. I was watching the video live of Nagy, and I was pitching our show. I was telling everybody. Yeah.
Claudio and I were talking about it pregame.
And then some dude, I forget his first name, Eric Wells or somebody said, "Cut it out, Claudio." So they knew it was me. They knew it was me. But hey, you never
smoke weed every day.
Yeah. So hey.
He
announced. What do you guys think about that, real quick? What do you think about him announcing and saying Dalton's QB1?
Well, we're gonna obviously see the coach get into this. Now, I said to our friend of our show, Adam Rank, because he had posted, I just think as a coach, you can't say competition. It's so important, and then close it off to dictate, hey, this is our starter, and you haven't had a competition. I just think that sends the wrong message through a whole locker room, through a whole culture. It's just not the way you should run. Now, if he's doing that, I just think it's a strategy that's wrong. Honestly, as a coach, I think there's several mistakes that this organization makes, obviously, and we have been at the forefront of trying to change them. And I'll keep it 100 with you. I know they listen, so I know that we've had an impact. And as you guys, like Corey, Jacob, watching every week, you guys sharing the show and promoting it and standing up for this network really means a lot, because it's going to travel. The words are going to be traveling. So let the competition begin, Coach. That's how you get the best out of Justin. That's how you get the best out of Andy. Obviously, Nick Foles is just a clipboard holder. There should be no reps for Nick. Mental reps, Nick. Put him on the virtual reality machine that you hyped up in 2017. Don't worry about anything but that. And I love to hear the fiery redhead is out there, that he's competing, Shayne, because listen, if fucking Andy goes in there and balls out, that's better. Obviously, the future is Justin, but the reality is, as a coach, Andy Dalton has something to prove. He's got a story to write, his story. It might not be convenient for fucking the Bears blog, because he's already written. Remember, he wrote Justin Fields as a fucking franchise killer. That story's changed. I don't hide from my motherfucking rankings, ever. I saw somebody, I call him right out. I call the troll right out. I was wanting Mac Jones because that's how I rank him. Never gonna hide from, but I'm not upset about. It's like, do I want a fillet or do I want the ribeye or the T-bone? There's no wrong there.
I'll take both, Coach.
Exactly. It's like, come on. What are you fucking like? You're trying too hard. Don't try hard to manipulate truth.
Well,
I've shared my truth. I've stood here.
That's the biggest discrepancy. I mean, I don't want to call myself not a fan. I obviously am, but I'm just going to refer to fans of this show and people who follow us. Is what I have found doing this for as long as I have is, if you have a favorite player in the draft and it happens to be quarterback. So I'll use what you were talking about, Phil.
Yeah.
With Mac Jones. Mac Jones is my favorite quarterback in this draft. That doesn't mean that everybody beyond Mac Jones sucks and that Phil hates them.
Exactly.
It's why you rank these guys, and it's crazy. So there's a certain group of people out there that look at that and they'll say, "Oh, Phil loves Mac Jones, so that means that Trevor Lawrence sucks. That means Justin Fields sucks." It's not like that. That's why you rank players. That's why Barlissimo does his 300 and top 350 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's
the truth. I think
it's crazy.
You have to explain it, because honestly, there could be a fake Draft Dr. Phil site and people will believe that. So that's the reality. I've been down that road. I've faced my wrongs in my life. I stand on stage when I don't have to. My wife's like, "You don't have to apologize." No, when I feel I say it. There's never been a change or a shift or manipulation. Where were all those haters? Where did they all go when I said Josh Allen is the number one quarterback in that draft? Where did they all go? They were fucking killing me, right? They were killing me. Then they disappeared. Where are they now? So I've never hidden my truths of how I rank to be the number 8 player in my rankings,
right?
In a 300 and something draft says a lot. It's just the reality. And then when we look back or it's like that moment my father says, "I wouldn't change shit about his throwing motion." I respect my dad so much, but if I disagreed with him, we would have that conversation live right there. But he was right. And I said, "You know what? You're 100% right. We didn't change Phillip Rivers. We didn't change Byron Leftwich's. You can't change these things that are always like, muscle memory. It's so hard to break that shit." So we talk about it.
You rarely do. I mean, when you get to the level of the NFL, you can think that you have it fixed, but then when the line breaks down in front of you, then you revert to your old habits and what you're, like you said, muscle memory. That's what it's all about, and it is what it is. I mean, if they're worried about this with his elbow, think about where we've come from with quarterback prospects. If that's the only thing that we have to worry about is that, I'll sign up for that all day.
I'm going to say this. I broke it down, Andy Dalton. You could go over to our channel and watch it. I think it has almost 30,000 views on it. Push it all the way up. There's my true story about your understanding of Andy Dalton. There's my breakdown and analysis. Andy Dalton has a lot of games under his belt. So to open up a competition would be the smartest play by this head coach.
100%.
Because not only do you have your young quarterback who is a competitor by choice,
why would you not want him competing?
I don't know. That's
Plus,
why
the other players are going to rally around Fields.
They already have, man.
They already have.
And when he starts balling out in training camp,
exactly. You can't stop the ocean from fucking hitting the beach. You can't. There's nothing that could do it. It's inevitable. So you open that shit up. You almost become the manipulator.
Let it happen.
A head coach is a master.
Like dumping a big cup of coffee, hot coffee on your belly, right?
Oh, geez. My wife, true story, real quick. I know our guest is getting ready in the green room. I'm excited about this guest. But before, let me tell you this story real quick. Shayne and I are on the phone preparing for the show. As you know, the show, we keep it 100. We talk, we have fun, we laugh, we swear. We tell our personal stories. So this morning, Shayne, we're talking about the baby coming tomorrow, and my wife's calling in. Now, I think something's important. I pick up the phone and I add Shayne, and automatically, my wife Steph is automatically in a rant. I spilled. They didn't cover the coffee, Phil. It's all over me. I burned my stomach. I'm fucking. And she's going crazy.
I'm thinking the whole time, I'm not supposed to be a part of this conversation.
Exactly.
I got to figure a way out of this.
It was one of those moments where you're like, I fucking shouldn't have added Shayne into the line. And my wife, I got to give her credit. I haven't talked to her about it. How smooth she transitioned. Oh, hey, Shayne. How you doing?
Yeah, oh, hey, Shayne. He goes, Shayne's getting ready for the baby. She's like, I know, but I'm not even into that right now. I've had such a bad fucking day. And I'm like, oh, God, I got to go. I got to get out of this.
That's what happened this morning. True story. Now, next, this guy, I mean, talk about traveling.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know the travel miles and the time. Now, I've told the story about my Uncle Sam Rutigliano talking to my father. Now, my father, I'm just keeping it 100 on this show, on this network. He's going to come on next week on Keeping It 100 or the week after, whatever. He turned down all these jobs to coach college and the NFL because Sam said to him, you don't want to continue to move your family around. This job is crazy. There's no stability. As we can see in Chicago, people are fired up with Nagy. So as we're producing this guy's open, all of us, I'm thinking about my dad telling me the story.
Oh, yeah.
And I just can't wait till you guys see this open, because this guy's story, and I was watching his show across the pond. He's doing the NFL for those Brits that are here on our network. They love this show. So they're all excited. I got like 8 DMs. Brian from the UK, Matt Miller from the UK, Berlissimo, all excited about this guy, Coach Reinebold.
This guy grew up in Maynard, Saskatchewan. And after playing defensive back for the Maine Black Bears under Jack Bicknell, he accepted the position of offensive graduate assistant coach at Western Montana College. He then coached at Dartmouth, Montana and Penn before getting his first head coaching job at Rocky Mountain College in 1989, where he led the program to its first non-losing season in 6 years. The next season, he took a job of outside linebackers coach at New Mexico. After that, he then went back and forth between college and the professional ranks for the next 29 years. That saw him have stops with the BC Lions, Las Vegas Posse, Edmonton Eskimos, Rhine Fire, Louisiana Tech, Hawaii Warriors, SMU Mustangs, Montreal Alouettes, Hamilton Tiger Cats, and the TSL Generals. That shows you he's the true definition of a grinder, and he loves it when he's not coaching. You can find him as a frequent analyst on Sky Sports NFL telecast in the United Kingdom. TTNL fans, let's give it up for Jeff Reinebold.
We had Coach.
We had him, and then he dropped off. Maybe he just got another job and had to drop off. I don't know. There he is. Coach, now he's back.
Coach, we thought you left us for another job.
Nah, I was just traveling, man. Hey, you know what? Seriously, I'm here on the Big Island, and like the Hawaiian state bird is the chicken, and there are more freaking chicken. Like we got stuck in a traffic jam with chickens. I swear to God, it's the only place in the world that could happen. Hey, Phil, is it your wife that's having the baby?
No, mine tomorrow. Yeah, we leave at 5 a.m.
Don't jinx me, Coach.
Yeah. Okay. Because I heard you guys talking about it, and I'm fucking dying. Excuse my language.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Dying laughing because I remember like when my wife went in to have the first one, and all of a sudden, like her head spins around and the green stuff comes out, and she looks at me. She goes, "You're never fucking touching me again."
Oh, yeah. That's been my life the last 9 months, Jeff.
Yeah, that's where we are. So that's where we are with him. I'm his therapist during the day for all he's been dealing with.
Oh, I tell you what, you're a good brother, because I'm going to tell you, that is unbelievable. Hey, your uncle is a classic. He is a classic.
Yes, he is.
He is one of the all-time greats, bro. One of the all-time greats.
I appreciate it. I really do. I want to have him on the show so bad, but I will share that Coach has been struggling with some memory stuff. So, he's going to be 90 years old. So it's been tough. So it's been hard on my dad because, he calls him all the time, checking in on him. So if everybody could say some good thoughts for Coach Rutigliano. I mean, he's nowhere near anywhere like that. Just, how sharp he is, Coach.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. I got to know him really, really late in his coaching journey, because the first time I met him, was actually, you did that. I saw your opener, and Jack Bicknell, who was my head coach at Maine, and Sam are really tight. I mean,
they're
really
tight.
Good friends. Yep. And we were playing, I can't even remember where. I think we were playing at University of Delaware, and Jack had a rule, like if you were going to leave the hotel or have people in the hotel, you had to let him know. So I knock on his door, and I opened the door, and like the smoke billows out of the room, and it's cigar smoke. It wasn't
right.
It was cigar smoke. And him and Sam were in there with the rest, with Vinny Caloria and Kevin Lempa and Paul Boudreau, the whole staff. And they got pizza boxes spread all over the room. They're diagramming plays on the back of pizza boxes. It was like the most amazing thing.
That's awesome.
And then later on, he came over and coached in NFL Europe as the offensive coordinator
for the Dragons,
for Jack in Barcelona. And I worked a couple of international player development things with Sam. And man, I'll tell you what, to sit and listen to him tell stories, and he is truly a treasure, a treasure of this game.
I appreciate it. I'm going to share this with my father so we could share it with Sam too, about it. I didn't know that this is the world. It's crazy. Technology bringing people together. It's like 3 degree, or what is it? 6 degrees of separation.
The whole Kevin Bacon thing, man. But you know what? I think it's like 3 degrees of separation with Sam Rutigliano, because I run into guys all the time that have been coached by Sam, that have played for Sam, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And everybody talks about what an incredible guy.
Man.
Not just a great football coach, but more important, Phil, what a great human being.
I thank you. I can't agree more. The things just sitting down, hearing the stories, I share a lot of that stuff here, obviously, with our crazy maniacal listeners and fans of this show. And to have you on, I got to shout out Barlissimo for bringing us together. It's just incredible. My Uncle Sam, the influence he's had on my dad, which then passed down to me on this amazing game of football. And that story's true. My dad got offered several head coaching college jobs, and he did not want to uproot his family and me and my sisters and brothers.
Hey, you're supposed to be in my neck of the woods in Syracuse.
Yeah. We were going to be up in Syracuse. Then it's not. Well, my dad could tell his story. Tonight, it's about you. Go ahead.
The listeners, the viewers, gotta go to YouTube.
Yes.
And there's a YouTube about, they have a bunch of coaches mic'd up, right? And I'm talking about the old guys, the old the OGs, man. And Abe Gibron and Lou Saban and all these guys. And there's Sam on the side, like, one time, baby.
Yep,
one time, baby.
Oh, yeah.
That clip is in my father's intro. Now, me and my dad do a show on the patron side of our network. It's called X's with the O's, the Etotians, X's with the O's. And my dad comes on and he breaks down the offensive line. And every time we intro him, we talk about him being brought up in Brooklyn and by Sam. And then there's that Sam click. One time, baby. One time, baby. One time. I love that too. My whole life, I've loved that. In fact, Shayne could tell you, I fucking put it on this network. Somebody, please get me that clip. And sure enough, it just a fan of mine said, I found it. It's on YouTube. Here it is. And I was able to clip it. It was because it used to be on this one version with that, the VHS. It was like,
yeah.
So it didn't give it its flavor. I'll have to play out. I could bring it up later and just, I'll try to play it.
You know what?
Maybe our producer could find it. One time, Sam Rutigliano on YouTube will play that as we get into it. Again, there's no script here. We don't have any questions written down. All I know about you is what I saw. I did, obviously, now I didn't pick up the phone. If you're this close to Sam, I would have picked up the phone. I'm sure he would have had like 12, 15 stories about you. Because I already could see that you're a wild man. And Sam is that, don't swear around me, Philip. Don't swear. I was watching Bears, Browns. Sam took me in this fucking celebrity box where they had a chef cooking for it. It was crazy. And I'm watching the game and I'm like, can you get him the fuck up? I'm like, he's like, Philip, they can't hear you. Calm down. Here it is.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
One baby. One time. One baby. One time.
Oh, I love it. Brian Sype. Just one time, Brian.
We were all saying that in 2018, right before Cody Parkey put it off the fucking uprights. Just one time.
You gotta love Sam's Elvis collars on his coaching.
Oh yeah. He was like a vampire. I said to him.
So, Coach, I was writing your intro here to the show, and I reached out to Phil. I'm like, oh my! I said I was looking at all your stops, and I'm like, holy! And then I hear you talking about your wife, and talk about that entire process, just living that life where it essentially can be year to year, and then you have to go to your wife and say, hey, we're heading to BC. We're heading, to Maine or wherever. Talk about that process and what it means.
Well, what it usually means is you get put on waivers with no recall once or twice a year.
By your wife or by the team?
I've been through a few of them, and I finally got the right one. But you know what? It's like poker. You don't like your cards, just ask for a redeal. No, I'll be honest with you. I have a great woman. She's tough as nails, and it's interesting when you know, I didn't get into coaching like because that was my plan. My dad was in professional baseball for 30 years, and
wow.
So I'm playing at Maine, and it's my senior year, and I ruptured my bicep tendon, and I was playing through that, and I'm walking past the head coach's office one day, and Jack Bicknell, who I love, he will always be special to me. He goes, "Jeffrey, get in here," and I went, "Oh shit," because the only two people that called me Jeffrey were my mother when she was mad and Jack when he was mad. So I come into his office, and you go through that mental Rolodex, like, okay, I didn't miss any class this week. What have I not done? And he goes, "What are you going to do when this is over?" And I looked at like, huh? And he goes, "What are you going to do when this is over?" It never even dawned on me that it would end, right? Because I was probably the most maladjusted 22-year-old kid that there was, but I just thought you played forever, right? You just go on to another. And he goes, "This is going to end real soon for you, and I think you should coach." And I went home that night, and I called my dad, and I said, "Dad, I think I might want to coach." And it was like dead silence on the phone for 15 seconds. And he goes, "Let me tell you something. The exact same things that Sam said. There's no money in it. There's no security in it. It's hard on families, yada, yada, yada." But I think what he was doing in his own way was being a great dad and saying, this is not a business, coaching, that you can be halfway on. You can't be a ham and egger. You can't be, if you're gonna be in it, you got to be in it all the way. And he was, I think, just kind of testing me to see if it was really something I wanted to do, because, I watched, I went through that. I lived through that as a kid, going dugout to dugout, and Coos Bay, Oregon to Bradenton, Florida to South Bend, Indiana, and all the stops in between. So, but I tell you what, man, this is the best freaking business in the world. I swear to God, it's the best business in the world.
Yeah, you gotta love the game of football to make all those stops, Coach, from SMU to the Canadian Football League. Talk about that for me real quick. When you transition, is there a big shift from coaching Canadian to American football?
People ask me a lot about my career and how it unfolded and all this stuff. And, they like I had some, plan, but really, I tell everybody, Mao Zedong had a 5-year plan. I couldn't think 5 weeks ahead of myself. Like, what doing? It was just a situation where Paul Boudreau, who had been the offensive line coach at Maine,
yes,
and then went to Boston College with Jack, and then went from there, I think, to Navy, and then from Navy to the Edmonton Eskimos of the Canadian Football League. And I saw Paul, and he told me, he said, if you want to coach in the pros, then you need to go to the CFL, because he got hired up by Jim Mora in New Orleans after he had been in Edmonton. Because one of the things, it's not as prevalent as it used to be. And, when we start talking about Sean Desai, I think this is some of the stuff we'll talk about. It used to be you had to coach in the pros, like in the CFL was like the natural step,
like the minor league.
Yeah. And so that's why I did it. But then I got up there, and I just got wrapped up in what I was doing and the players I was coaching, and and it just turned into almost like a life deal. And then I go to work for June Jones at Hawaii, and then back to SMU with June. And then we finished, kind of resurrecting those programs. And Mark Trestman, who ended up being the head coach of the Bears, called me and asked me to come up and coach the defense with him in Montreal. And so that's how I got back up there. So, it's crazy for a guy who lives in Hawaii and loves the weather. I have spent most of my coaching life in freaking frigid places. So again, it just goes to show you that Mao Zedong was right. You better have a 5-year plan.
But Coach, it shows that you love it more than anything. Like you said, you gotta go all in or not at all. I said to Phil when I was writing up your intro, I'm like, man, you can't question this dude's love for football, because I said you look at that. I was like, oh man, it's so impressive though.
You know what, brother? It also may mean that it's not worth a shit when he's paying off.
Yeah. Oh well. Hey, you always had a job.
And think about it. Like if I could, and I'm going to write a book when it's all done, said and done, because there's just so many amazing, incredible experiences. Like talking about that time with Sam, and just Jerry Glanville and June Jones, and I mean. You go through the amount of guys, Bum Phillips and Wade Phillips, and I mean guys that have touched Dick Vermeil, guys that have touched my career in one way or another. That just I'm so very grateful to have had the opportunity to hang around this business as long as I have.
Coach, stay there for a second. Here's a coach in Chicago. He's never been a head coach on any level. But yet was given the what would it be? The
keys to the car.
Keys to the car because Andy Reid said so.
Yeah.
So Andy Reid, the Old Boys Network, basically what you were almost saying. Now he comes here. How does that sit with you, who's been at all these levels of coaching, including a head coach, and this guy obviously has had to learn as he goes. And I haven't been a big fan of Coach Nagy. I'm giving him the shot here to see what he's going to do with this young piece of clay and how he's already, we're going to talk about the quarterback competition or not a quarter. Just give it to Andy. But how does that sit with you, who's paid his dues in this coaching? And maybe you don't want a head coaching. There's coaches out there that don't want to be a head coach, but am I on the right track? Is this somebody that shouldn't have been given a head coaching job?
Well, I think there's some validity in what you're saying, but I also know this, that the business is constantly looking for the next hot guy. Okay. And they're looking for the next guy off of the right tree. And if you like, for example, if you study New England, right? And,
yes.
And I think Belichick is the greatest coach that's ever coached. But you look at what the success ratio is of the guys who have left his program and then gotten their own opportunity. And that's not to say that they're bad guys or bad coaches or whatever. It's just that it hasn't worked for them. Because I think what really, really is important is that whether it's Matt Patricia or Josh McDaniels or, whoever it is, you can't be Bill Belichick. There's only one Bill Belichick. You got to be the genuine you. And I think that takes time for a guy who's never been a head coach to learn how to be himself and how to handle because I'm going to tell you something, fellas, and I've done it in pro football, where you go from being a coordinator to a head coach and you think right? It's that old Jim Moore quote from that thing where we got Sam.
Yeah.
You think but you'll never know, right?
Exactly.
And when you go to sit in a corner office and all of a sudden everything, the buck stops here, right? And it's the enormity of the job is so great. And what's wrong now, what in my opinion is the challenge now, is that these young guys who are smart and, good football guy, all of that stuff, good communicators, all of it, they got all, but they don't have the chops yet. It's not a place where you can learn on the job, because to be very, very honest with you, most guys in Matt's situation wouldn't have a job right now.
Exactly.
Right? And so I'm not saying he should be fired or anything. I'm just saying that that's the nature of the business that we're in. So, you look at some of these older guys that, have, how long did it take Bruce Arians to get his first opportunity?
Exactly, Coach. Exactly, Coach. Sam, let me say this. Sam said to me, and I say it all the time, I'm young. I think I was 28 when he told me this. I never forget it, because I look at the NFL like the fucking gospel, like the glowing arch of football, right? And he says to me, Philip, there's a lot of shoe salesmen in that fucking league. He didn't say fucking. A lot of shoe salesmen in that league. And I said, what? He's like, I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of shoe salesmen in that league. And he proceeded to tell me them. And I've kept my promise that I won't tell the names of what he said. Ernie Accorsi was one of those people. But the reality is Sam was right. And I look at it and I'm like, Coach Nagy, he's done nothing. He's a real estate agent, got here, and all of a sudden he's coaching the charter franchise. And I was the only guy pushing back on this because they got hot in his first year because they traded for Khalil Mack. The defense had 39 fucking takeaways with 10 touchdowns in a season, and everyone's getting the rah-rahs, but I'm watching this offense and I'm like, what is he? He's got no rhyme or reason. And we're 3 years, now 4 years, and now we got a rookie coming in, and I'm nervous. I'm concerned about how he's going to handle this, Coach.
Well, I think this is a critical year, obviously, for Ryan Pace and for Nagy both, right?
Yes.
I think that's everybody realizes that, and right now it's fascinating to me, Phil, that I heard this said, and I have a sense of Chicago. I have a sense of the Bears history. Sean Gale's a very good friend of mine, and I've worked a couple of places with Mike Singletary, so I know I get it, right?
Yeah.
I was very close to. I'm still very close to Rob Ryan and Buddy and the whole deal, right? God. So I get the whole thing about Chicago. Here's what's fascinating to me when you look at this football team, that there's always, it's just like a divorce, or when it's not good, there's never one guy that you can really put the finger on, right? Are they spending enough money, which has always been an issue, I think, in Chicago? Are the McCaskies investing? Are they how bad do you really want to win, right?
Right.
That's one thing. Now, when you see what has gone on there, it's been a history of the same issues. When was the last time you had a great quarterback in Chicago? And, you can go back to Jim McMahon, and Jim McMahon was a great winner. He was a great leader. He was a great personality, but I'm not sure he was a great quarterback. He fit what they needed, right?
Yep, I agree.
And since that time, they've been in the wilderness with quarterbacks. And Mark got that job because he was the one that was going to fix Jay Cutler, right?
Right.
Well, how many head coaches has Jay Cutler fired? Right. I mean, that's just the reality of that guy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so they've constantly been on the lookout for this next, quarterback whisperer. And so Nagy, because he's off of Andy's tree, and it's an offensive system, and he spent time developing Patrick Mahomes. You cannot deny that. Those are all true facts. But then you go from being, you may have the title of offensive coordinator, but the offensive coordinator, let's make no mistake about it, in Kansas City is
exactly,
Andy
Coach.
100%.
And then you jump into this situation
where you're in the corner office, like you said,
and then you draft a guy who's a 1-year starter at North Carolina,
right?
A 1-year starter.
Well, to be fair, Pace drafted him with Fox, but Nagy signed on for the job. And I always say that.
And that's who we had to work with, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so, and then that doesn't work. And so now, I'm concerned about this, the one that they drafted, because there are a lot of things to like about the kid. And I understand right now he's the second most popular pro athlete in Chicago and all that stuff. I worry about the expectations on Justin Fields, because that is a city that is starved for a Messiah at quarterback, starved for it.
Oh yeah.
And
preaching to the choir.
But it's also a city that will pile its pain on top of you if you're the quarterback and you're not getting it done.
Oh yeah.
And so I think what Justin Fields needs, as I've watched him play, and one of the reasons I think he fell in the draft, is his anticipation is not what it needs to be. He'll throw the ball. He's like so many of those quarterbacks who come out of that zone read system, right?
Yeah.
If the receiver's open, he'll throw it. But the anticipation of the throw, to throw a guy away from coverage, all the fine little details, those things have to be developed yet in him. And I'm worried that he's going to get thrust in there too soon because people's jobs are on the line. And, I'll go back to, something I heard a long time ago. It's far better to play a player too late than too early, because if you play him too early, particularly at quarterback, you can break them. And I think that's one of the things Sam Darnold has found out. I think Trubisky found it out. Those guys were not ready to be National Football League quarterback. Trent Dilfer told me the same thing. He said, Jeff, just understand, here's a kid comes out of Fresno with the big arm and the whole deal, right? He goes to be the savior in Tampa Bay. And he said, you have no idea about the enormity of the job until you step into it. And so even though you played at Ohio State, one of the premier college programs in America, it does not even begin to matter when it stands up against the franchise known as the Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears, you hit it on the nail on the head. Starved. That is the key word. Starved for quarterback talent. The city is starved for a winner. It's a football fucking town beyond anything. Cubs could win the World Series and Bears are in the playoffs. The ratings will go to the Bears 100 out of 100. It's not even a question for me.
No question. See, I have a very close friend who had 2 tours of duty in that franchise and as an offensive line coach. And the first one went really well.
We know who this is.
And the second one didn't go well at all.
Probably the best offensive line coach considered in the country.
So I know what Harry experienced in Chicago. Yeah. And there's only so much you can do when you don't have players. And do I think that they've gotten better? Yes, they have. But that's still a question mark of concern to me. Where are the weapons that you're going to put around this kid? Keepin Robinson was huge. Now, how can you create, if you look at where the success for young quarterbacks has come, it's typically come in franchises where they said, okay, we're going to draft one and then we're going to invest in players around him, weapons around him.
Right.
And then you may need to draft one again sooner when he gets to his second contract because they'll want the big money, but at least you've given him a chance. Sam Darnold had no chance. I don't know if Sam Darnold can play or not because we haven't seen him with a chance yet. Now, if he gets a chance in Carolina, he can play. That's great. I'm all for every guy playing. But I really worry, like I said, about Fields. What is he going to have around him? How is the system going to fit him so that he can be as good as he can possibly be? And Mitch never, it just didn't seem like he never seemed comfortable in the offense. There was nothing.
I don't think Mitch was comfortable being the guy, especially in Chicago, because Phil and I, have been doing this for a long time, and Mitch would a lot of times get up in these pressers and he looked scared. There's, no other way to put about it. And Coach, you've been everywhere, and you get a guy up there, like you just said, Chicago is a different fucking beast.
Bro, let me tell you something about playing quarterback. There's an old saying, if you're going to lead the cavalry, you better look good on the horse. Right? Yeah. And what I'm talking about is not physically, you got to be handsome. What I'm talking about is when you stand up in front of somebody, in front of a room of people, you better have command. Yeah. And if you don't have command, I'm going to tell you something. The media today this ain't the old days. This ain't the 60s where they'll, look past things. They will rip you to shreds. And that's part of knowing who you've got when you draft a kid. And how could 1 year as a starter at North Carolina ever have prepared that kid for anything like what he experienced in Chicago?
Well, that was a mistake on the GM. I mean, Deshaun 100%. Watson was my number one. It was like, how do you miss this layup? It's like he played all those games and he was a warrior in them. If you're worried about his fucking ankles and whatever, that's the wrong way to go about it. Is he a football player? Obviously, the doctors have to check all this stuff out. I get it. But you've seen what he had. And then Mahomes obviously was a these two are generational talents, but you know, it is what it is. That's history. Here, though, I want to ask you, would you open this competition with Andy Dalton up? So you're the head coach, Coach Reinebold. You're the head coach. So would you open Andy Dalton and Justin up, and not just for appearances, but open it up to get the kid prepared, what competition is, and then, or would you just say, you know what, I'm playing the veteran. I don't want another David Carr type situation or Andy Sam Darnold as you use there. I don't want this kid to be ruined. So I'm going to protect his ass. And it's also going to self-serve me because it's going to give me more time as the head coach if I do that.
It depends, you know, because again, we can never know what goes on inside of Hallis Hall, right?
Right.
You know, what the message is from those above them. Because if the McCaskies are saying, "Hey, listen, we drafted this kid,"
oh my God,
you know, and we need to get him on the field, then he's going to play, right?
that bothers me.
Yeah, I don't personally think that's the way I would go.
Right.
But you know, again, there's so much involved in this that the fans really and shows like this, guys like you guys who really get it, that really kind of peel back the layers on all of these kinds of issues, because, you know, what would be the safe pick? It'd be to go with Andy, because he's been there, done that. He's taken teams to the playoffs, you know,
and that's what they've said up to this point. I mean, they've been pretty adamant about QB1 when they're talking about Andy Dalton, but at the same time, you know, I think, Coach, I'm not going to say I'm pushing back, but I don't think that Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace are on a short leash in Chicago. I really don't. We've had David Kaplan on, who's very, very connected in Chicago, and he says, according to the people that he's talked to, that they're really not on a short leash. They've been willing to let these guys go through the bumps in the road and learn on the job. And I think one of the things that stuck out to me was George McCaskey talking to Pittsburgh. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, the owner in Pittsburgh.
The Rooneys?
The Rooneys, yeah. He talked to Mr. Rooney, and he was preaching patience. If you believe in the guy, you gotta give him time. You gotta give him time.
No other franchise has been more patient.
That's so amazing that you say that, because I remember one of the things that Coach Vermeil talked about all the time. He said it's your third year before you even know what you've got at the franchise, because there's that first year where you're just bumping into each other in the hallway. Shit, you don't even know each other, right? You got guys that have come from all different backgrounds, all different programs, all this stuff. And it takes time. And, you know, you got to find out. You don't know a player until you coach a player. You don't know a player until you get into the 2-minute drill at the end of the game and you got to make a play. Yeah. That's when you find out who you got, about coaches, about players, about front office people, about all this. Because when the bullets fly, then the true character gets revealed. Because anybody can bullshit you in a job interview, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's what guys are going to be there when it really, really is nasty and dirty and tough. And you know, typically, Rob Ryan and I laughed about this. When he was in Washington that one year, and like all of a sudden, the doors start shutting. Right, all the coaches' office doors are shut, and there's all those little whispers. Conversations going on. And as soon as that happens in your organization, you might as well stick a fork in you, because you're done. You're done. And, you know, so I don't know what the insides of Hallis Hall are, but I hope for every coach that they've got people around him that, you know, that understand it's what's best for the team. Right. And, you know, it's especially when you're dealing with young guys who are climbers, who want to get the next job, who want to, you know, I mean, I'm going to tell you something. I've watched it up close and personal for 30 years. And the backstabbing and backdoor politics and all of it is just, it's disgusting. It's the greatest business in the world, but it's got some of the worst shit in it. in the world too.
Yeah.
As you know, I used to say this to Tress all the time. It's a great game. It's a shitty business.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the way it is.
I love that quote.
But you know what? Like we were going to talk. You guys were asking me about Desai. You know, I think he's a really fascinating guy to me, right? Because you know how the NFL is a copycat league at every single level, right?
Absolutely.
Somebody runs a play, then everybody else, and has success. Everybody else can run it. Somebody runs a defense, and everybody else can do it. Whatever the Super Bowl champion does, everybody else can try and find out what it was and emulate it, right?
Right.
I think what has really, and this is not to take anything away from Sean, but I think the thing that's really helped Desai is the success that Brandon Staley had last year in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And they come from very, very similar backgrounds. Neither were players. They're very, very highly intelligent, well-educated football guys, right?
Yep.
And so what everybody wants after they saw what happened when Wade got moved, they moved past Wade in Los Angeles, and then all of a sudden they bring this young guy who really, I mean, you look at it and say, how in the world is that guy coordinator in the National Football League? And then all of a sudden, boom, they go and they play lights out. So what does everybody else now start looking for?
Yeah, Chicago didn't want to let a second potential guy like that out of the franchise.
Yeah, and I think that's really interesting because here's what's unique about Desai to me. He came in under Mark, then he worked for Foxy, and then he worked for Nagy.
Survived it all. Yeah.
And again, everything that I've heard about the guy is he didn't survive it because he was a chameleon. He survived it because he was good.
Yep.
That to me is the biggest thing. Because let me tell you something, guys. I just firmly believe this. And it's interesting. I heard Acho's comments about it. You know,
I was just going to bring that up, Coach. I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah.
When he was a quality control guy, and they are the bottom of the totem pole guys. I mean, bottom of the totem pole
donut guys.
But I think what the players saw was that he was tied so tightly to Vic because Vic trusted him, and Vic knew that he was going to bring him good information. And the same thing's true with Staley. How can you say you're going to look at that guy who's coached 3 years in the National Football League, replacing a guy who's been a legend as a defensive coordinator in the National Football League, and then all of a sudden Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald and, Floyd and all of those guys gravitate to him. Well, what do they gravitate to? They gravitate to information that's going to help them be better players, right? And so that's what I think he can bring to that defense in Chicago, because you've got pieces now, especially in the front seven.
Yeah.
What I saw with Chuck was, and this was shocking to me, was that Chuck, who comes from that Baltimore school of, junk, what we call in the business junk defense, right? Where you're all over the place.
Exactly.
Well, all of a sudden they are like, I'm looking at, you got one of the premier pass rushers in the National Football League.
Dropping him in coverage.
And I'm like going, what? Now you got Robert Quinn and you got Hicks and you can create situations where, pressure on an offense comes in two forms. It comes in physical pressure. And the other one is the mental pressure that you put on the opponent. Yeah. Where is Khalil Mack, right? Where is Quinn? Where is Hicks? Because you can't double them all, and you can't shove the protection to all of them, right?
Exactly.
So those guys are unique set pieces that the Bears have to use. And I personally hope, that they will expand on what they're doing with those guys, and like take Quinn and Mac and put them on the same side. What do you do with that? Right?
It didn't happen one time, Coach. I looked at, I break down the film. The tape never lies, like the network. I do my breakdowns, and I watched every single play. Not one time were those two lined up on the same side. In fact, we were looking at this young kid on our patron side again, Snowden, And I'm looking at this kid, and I'm like, imagine you put him as a strong safety at 6'7", 200-some pounds off of Khalil Mack. Now all of a sudden you're doing what you said. You're giving them problems. I think Coach froze for a second.
Well, think about it, and I'll tell you a story. When Mark was the head coach in Chicago, Rob called me. Rob Ryan was with the Saints at the time. And he called me and he said, "Tell me about Trestman," because I worked for Mark, right? And I said, because Rob is a very good friend of mine. I said, "I'll tell you what. One thing he does not like is when you take both outside backers and you put them on the same side, because it locks his protection and it forces slide the protection that way, because they're not going to put a back on Khalil Mack or Robert Quinn. They're just not going to do it, right? Well, when you do that, then you bring pressure off the other side, and the back's got two he can't pick up, right? So they had 7 sacks that day in Soldier Field. 7, right? And Rob called me after the game and said, "I'm going to give you the game ball." I said, "No, I don't want the game ball. I'm just glad you won the game," right? But that's what's available to you when you have guys like the Bears have got.
Coach, you're freezing up. Do you want to bounce back and bounce back in? I don't know if that'll help.
Yeah, it seems like we got a bad connection.
We got a bad connection all of a sudden because we can hear it echo back and it's freezing on your end.
Can you give me 1 minute? I'll get it.
Yeah, come right back in. We'll cover for you. I'll play outside of Shayne and we'll.
Hold on.
Yep, absolutely.
No problem. There's Coach.
There's Coach.
I don't know who entered Cars into the scene.
That was me.
Oh, what's up, Cars? That was a shock because I didn't even see you there.
It's okay. No, real good. How are you guys doing? That was an interesting interview to hear go through everything.
Just add Cars into an awkward situation.
No,
it's all right. Awkward has been my whole life. It's all good.
Where he was talking, though, Cars, let's speak on this. It's something this network, you included, have questioned on the defensive side of the ball, especially when you've put an emphasis on these signings and the defensive money. You're talking about the cap, and you're not taking advantage of those pre-snap looks that are going to threaten Aaron Rodgers, putting Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn on the same side and Akeem Hicks, and then put Roy Robertson Harris on the edge on the other side and threaten these guys.
Yeah, there's been
balls.
Zero creativity. I mean, we've been
it's
talking about
been
it for
scared-ativity is what it's been, right?
Totally
it is. I want to play as conservative as I can so that we don't make a huge mistake. And it's
but doesn't it
make mistakes? You make mistakes, right?
Doesn't it feel like to you guys though? And I mean, this is what I was going to bring up with Coach. Is Chuck Pagano, when he got here, one of the reasons why I was excited was because of the aggressive nature that
that's what he was saying.
known for. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then he just
mixed.
Remember that
I never heard junk.
I feel like I say it every week. It's we got these horses and we're going to be getting them. We're going to get them to go that way. And then, but
no,
in typical Chicago Bears fashion, it was like we're going to put that out there, and then we're going to pull the fucking okey doke. And
we're going to draft Kyle Long, the left tackle, put him as guard. We're going to Roy Robertson Harris, clearly
at nose tackle.
Guy. Let's put him at nose.
Yeah.
Let's put him at 5. These things have to go away. Just play arrogant football. Just like you're saying, lack of confidence. I hope Desai. I really believe Coach is changing my opinion because I'm worried about Nagy, and I'm worried about Desai because he's never done it. But Desai, that story of perseverance, we'll say, Desai's story. Did you guys see Desai's? The NFL did a little thing on Desai.
Yeah.
That was very fucking touching to me.
Oh, it was big time.
And it gave me a little insight on where. This guy isn't going to be Phil Toshin going screaming at these motherfuckers. That's how I would coach,
How
screaming.
do you think
and
his
yelling.
flag football team feels, Cars?
There's going to be a lot of therapy bills coming out from that collection of underage children. That's for sure.
Hey,
no, but
I already warned the fans. I already warned them. Go ahead.
I think you got a good point because, the thing that I double back onto what Coach said is he's going to provide information, right? Like, we're not going to be in this game where you're going to sacrifice Eddie Jackson so that you start giving Clinton, some better safety looks.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? That was opening night and they took Eddie Jackson off the field to give Dix or someone. Was it Deion Bush? It was Deion Bush.
Deion Bush.
And Aaron Rodgers finds it and fucking delivers in a 10.
Yeah, that was the first touchdown. That was the
only
touchdown.
That was the only drive they had. Oh,
yeah, Deion was lost. Yep.
And I mean, it's the little things. Like, it's funny to watch this kind of overall NFL change. Where we saw it happen in baseball, right? Where guys are like watching their swings on iPads and then going back and seeing what they're missing. Now, from an athletic profile, so many of these guys are similar. So many of these guys are really good. What they need is constant information and who is going to view the game kind of in their eyes. I think the defensive backs are going to be at a huge advantage. But I think, Phil, to your point, like, part of it is meatball in me, but I always remember those 85 Bears. Like, you would see plays where Wilbur Marshall was lined up on the line next to Richard Dent, right? And you're like, good luck. Here you go. And then we're going to move Dan Hampton in from end. We're going to put him at defensive tackle. We're going to stack one side of the line, and you're going to have three guys that can't go one-on-one with any of these guys, and there's three guys they have to go one-on-one with. There are some things in football that have never changed. That we never take advantage of. We never.
Let me tell you a quick story just on this point. I had an arrogant fucking coach. I'm not going to say his name. I was coaching freshman football. Okay. I was the head coach of this freshman football team. Claudio was on it. I don't know if it was his team because I was 2 years on freshman head coach. And the varsity defensive coordinator, I'm not going to say his name, I said, listen, you guys need to start blocking this counter play with a fold block on the backside because we were running inverted bone like Army and, Air Force and the service academies do because we didn't have a stud tailback. So I told,
hard to find.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work. No, I go, I bet you this. My freshman will fucking score on your varsity defense. And he goes, was blowing me off. So I doubled down in front of everybody, including his varsity defense. My freshman will score on your team. So he was dodging it, right? I set it up. I challenged my dad's team. My dad loved it secretly, but played that role, We lined up. I folded the backside. My kids right through. Goodbye. Touchdown. I'm fucking dancing like Deion Sanders with the thing like this.
Yeah.
I go, there they go. This is freshmen beating up your varsity. So change the fucking thing. Don't tell me. There's things that you do in football that just transcend football. It's like, it doesn't have to be, we're scared. We're scared. No. Overset. Put the fucking, I don't give a fuck. Who's your, remember Nick Kwiatkowski? The guy could fucking blitz his ass off. You put him in there and you do it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Do it until they stop it.
Do it till they stop it.
How many times have we been screaming for them to deploy Roquan Smith that way? You see them blitz Roquan Smith, he gets a fucking sack.
Or a tackle for a loss. I mean, it is, there's a reason he had 18 of those last year, right?
I don't give a shit. Bill,
you put people where they're going to
matter. The Chicago Bears have plenty of talent now. He just mentioned them. Robert Quinn, Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack.
You can't say the Bears don't have talent.
Mario Edwards, Bilal Nichols. Watch Bilal Nichols. I'm going to do a whole thing on Bilal Nichols. You want to see fucking upcoming talent? Watch this dude.
He's stay healthy. Sick this year because he's going to get some 5 technique kind of
tell
looks.
Tell him Naz. You tell me, is it Nas or Nas?
Before Coach gets back on here, one thing I want
being cute.
I want to bring up with you guys, one thing that concerns me is Eddie Goldman not being there right now. I mean, I understand he's
the
a
whole
veteran.
defense isn't there. There's only one guy, Roquan.
But Eddie's always been the one who never shows up in shape, who's always getting cramps the first early days.
Of all people, though, I mean, he opted out, COVID concerns, all of that. It's just that does not sit well with me. That I don't care if it's voluntary or involuntary at this point. To me, Eddie Goldman's ass should have been there.
It doesn't make it to me. I would rather just like to see a picture of him and know that he's in somewhat shape. I think sometimes this stuff, like him, my biggest concern is conditioning. It's always conditioning. It's been conditioning every single year for him. Every year, the first week, he's getting yanked out for cramps and he's getting yanked out because he's out of shape. I don't want to see him show up and it's like, Fat Albert getting off the bus and he's rolling in at 450 pounds.
Because he did say he saw him today. Did you see the Nagy presser?
No, I didn't. I did not see all of it.
We're going to play that, obviously, after we finish up with Coach. I just DM'd Coach to jump back on when he can. Obviously, we had we all know about these internet connection issues.
The chickens,
the rooster, Hawaii. He's in Hawaii. I want to know, is he in a back pool house? There's a fucking hammock there hanging. I thought
that's just
Hawaii. It's Hawaii. Who doesn't have a hammock? That's probably his bedroom.
You both were in unison. That's just Hawaii. Yeah. I've never been to Hawaii. Have you, Cars?
No. I've seen many pictures, but no.
I really thought you were going to say yes.
Enough.
Yeah, right. No. Our boy is in Hawaii now. Shout out to our boy Olin Kreutz in Hawaii.
I thought you were talking about Angelo.
No, Angelo is working at the mall tonight. Trying to be a nose tackle. He wishes he was born in Tonga so he could be a nose tackle.
Tonga signed today. Bears signed 5 draft picks today.
Someone had said something in the chat. He's another person I think that will take some of the pressure off of Bilal to play inside and get him more pass rushing looks. So he's someone I am all meatball in on game day. Like that. That's a guy.
If you like Tonga, you gotta get over. Become a patron. www.thetapeneverlies.com. My father, Shayne, our guy Berlissimo, and myself all broke down Kairos Tonga. And my father was so excited about Kairos Tonga and his opportunity of what he can do to what Cars is speaking. He's not just a nose guard. What he's able to do is going to be exciting. So it's going to be exciting to see how he step up in competition, because obviously the next level, and I really feel like Juan is going to have them fired the fuck up this offensive line. There's an attitude adjustment. I'm getting a text. I don't know if it's real yet, but one of our buddies from the old message board is telling me through his friend at a picnic, Moses has decided between the Jets and the Bears, and it looks like it's going to be the Bears. That's the offensive tackle.
Is that Linda S., the old secretary there? Anyway, no,
it is.
I joke about it too, but do you have to wonder? We've got a lot of young bucks on that offensive line, some of who are pretty aggressive. Like, you think those older defensive linemen are kind of like, I'm not ready to go. I don't want to go get physical and get beaten up and roughed up by these young kids. We'll get into it when it's time, but there's a time and place for it. And I want a couple extra days off.
No, I get it. I'm not worried about Khalil Mack. I'm not worried. Even
Eddie.
I think it says a lot. I mean, Roquan was smart to show up. He wants some new paper. I mean, I think that is going to go quite a ways. But the thing with Eddie that rubs me the wrong. And there's not a bigger Eddie Goldman fan than me.
If the whole defense called each other and we're not going, you're going to blame Eddie for not going?
No, it's just more that he's never showed up. Like he's
Dude,
yet to show up.
He opted out.
In shape.
He opted out for
But he is probably or arguably the best nose tackle, even though he's never been in shape. Cars. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But
he's
to your point, he skipped out.
It's not that I think he needs to show up. It's for my own selfish comfort level that I want to know that he's not 450 pounds right now. Right.
Exactly.
Like this is a guy who shows up every year at
Nagy,
360, 370.
Nagy has assured us that he saw him and he looks great.
Yeah, they did say they were in constant contact, and that's probably the reason, put down the chips.
Saw him, so I don't know what that means.
But don't forget one guy that I don't want people to forget. And Phil, we talked about him. You and your dad broke him down. I'm not sure if George was on that show with you or not, but don't sleep on Blackson. This is a guy that's coming into his own right now.
I was going to talk about him.
This is a guy that's going to open up a lot of fucking eyes. Yep, he's going to open up a lot of eyes.
Physicality to that defensive line, like there
is.
Quinn is your finesse guy, which is crazy, right? Because he was such a good wrestler, and it's not to say that he's not physical, but you look at the rotation, whether it's Edwards, Hicks. All these guys. These are guys that are just going to out physically.
Mario Edwards. Obviously, he has a suspension.
Jared, this is the thing what we're talking about. That is Eddie. That's been his history.
It has been Eddie his whole every year. Go back and read every year. The first week of camp, he has been pulled out for extra conditioning and dehydrated. That's always been him. He's to Phil's point. Come week one, guys in shape. And probably the best nose tackle in football, but early on, it has been a mess for him.
I'm going to be interested in seeing Eddie Goldman. Really quick, going back to Angelo Blackson. Shayne's right on our Tape Never Lies network. Obviously, we have a patron side, which is more coaches clinic and stuff like Coach Reinebold is bringing with Berlissimo, myself, my father, Shayne. And we've had Steve Edwards, former Bear, Sean Sierra coming on, breaking down running backs. We're going to have a lot more guests coming on. Lemuel Stinson possibly coming down, breaking down DB play. So it's going to be something. Go over there, www.thetapeneverliesnetwork.com and become a patron. You get all this. But we did break down Angelo Blackson. And I want to say this. There's certain players that don't get time because of the surrounding politics or whatever.
Jeff just talked about it. There's a lot of back channels and poker
whispers and bullshit. I've said this forever.
He said was shocking to me. I guess I never pictured that like once people aren't in the hallways anymore and doors are closed, like that was an interesting comment for me.
He's quoting my Uncle Sam had told me this story, and I can't tell it, but it's exactly like that. Loyalty. If you're going to hire the staff, you don't need the great X's and O guys. You need great teachers, but most importantly, you need loyalty, because the loyalty in football is so important. You cannot. It's like anything. You can't be talking smack about people from behind. You just can't do that. You like Shayne's saying it right to someone's face on this network to begin the show and still will. That's where you need to have your discussions and debates and fights and arguments to ultimately get to the point where you've agreed to disagree or you agree to go on. Just like me in that story, I had to prove myself that I was right by facing off. And you put your ass on the line or don't play. But that shit happens all the time. And that happened to Harry Heastand.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what happened to Harry.
But I think that point of what you just kind of talked to also always circles back to the quarterback. I think there's too much concern that he's listed at number 2, because what you have to do is you have to show the ability to make the reads, to do those things. Just because he's not getting reps at number 1 right away doesn't mean he's not competing for number 1. If anybody did high school sports,
That's
if
a
you
good
were
point.
a sophomore trying to compete and make it to varsity, what did you have to do? You had to show up every day. You had to work your ass off, and you had to show that, like, yeah, it's not when the lights are on.
I got a great story about that, Cars, that I have to share before we move off of it. Before Coach
I'm
gets
always
back.
big for it, but it's, Phil, you had a freshman go take it to the house against the varsity. Those sorts of things shouldn't happen. But you know what? When you can make something happen, when you're not throwing to the number one guys, the number one offenses, or the number one offensive players, that's when you show that you have great fundamental understanding of what the offense is doing, what they need you to do. Those moments are going to earn you those reps, and that's how it happens. These things, just because he's not with the number ones doesn't mean they're not considering it. Everything he's doing is getting graded, snap in, snap out, and when he shows it, it's going to be there.
When I was, you guys heard me tell the story about the town that I grew up in. It's basketball, 24/7, 365. So I grew up in that environment and was a big, basketball was my life growing up. And when I was a freshman, I got pulled up from the JV team to varsity in basketball as a freshman. And my first game, my coach said, "Hey, we brought you up for a reason. You're going to play." So my first game, I came up, I started, did actually real well my first game. Well, there was still remember the kid's name, Timmy Gleason. The next day, a bunch of us got called down to the office, and Timmy was there with his parents. And in their mind, their son was a senior, and he deserved to start because he was a senior. So I got to give my coach credit. And this is where you have to, a coach has to have your back, but he also has to play the fucking game and be like, all right, yeah, we're not going to fight about this. I'm not going to bring my young guy in here and make him be a part of this. He goes, "Oh, Timmy wants to start and you feel that he should start." 100%. I agree. We go from there. So we all leave the office. We go to practice, everything. We have a game 2 days later. Starting lineups got announced. Timmy goes out. Jump ball, start the game off. Coach taps me on the shoulder, go tap in. Timmy started. That's what his parents wanted. But that's what you wanted him to start. He just started. But I'm the fucking coach, and it's going to be my way. You know what I mean? You wanted him to start. I'm giving you that. So fuck you. My guy's going to go get in there. But this is what I'm saying. This is what these guys have to they have to find these creative fucking avenues to take advantage of what these guys are going to do best. And that's where I was so disappointed in fucking Chuck Pagano. And listen, I'm not going to kiss Vic's ass here either, because there was a lot of times where Vic pissed me off with his.
We overlooked a lot of those.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Right, where he was dropping everyone into fucking coverage.
He dropped Khalil
Max
back
into coverage.
Ton.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Always dropping Khalil Mack into coverage. That kind of stuff happens sometimes because of a scheme or a philosophy that you're trying to do, but it should never get in the way of putting your player. Like, there should never be a third down situation where Khalil Mack is on the sideline.
Exactly. Phil, and how many times? But
I yell it to my kids on fucking flag. I think if you guys saw it, I'm like, this ain't soccer. No one needs a rest. You've been standing here for plenty of time. You have run hard when the whistle fucking blows.
In all sports, I mean, confidence is key, especially in football. And even as a fan, the Bears would get to 3rd and 10 plus, and you had zero confidence that they were gonna fucking stop it.
3rd and 13, they're running deep in cut.
Deep in cut, wide open in the middle of the field.
It's always happening, unless it's dropped. Verlissimo is late to the show. We've already interviewed Coach Reinebold. He just
doesn't want to hear me speak anymore. It's fine.
Technical difficulties. Those of you just checking in, and he's coming back. I'm waiting for him to come back. Coach Reinebold also is an analyst on Sky Sports, which is the NFL, as you saw in his intro, for the British side, across the pond. This gives me a little bit of time, Shayne, Speaking of across the pond, Father's Day is coming and the weather is catching heat. This is the time, Mark Jackal. Whether you have a dad bod or rocking a six-pack, make sure your dad is smelling nice, shaved where it matters most.
Shaved, not the face, but
not the face where it matters most.
Cars didn't even comment on my shaven face. Cars, you
make your dad proud this year. Get him and yourself the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 refined cologne by Manscaped. Yes, they have cologne. The brand new Lawnmower 4.0 that we've been talking about here has a cologne. It's refined cologne. Is perfect for you and dad in your life to complete your grooming game. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code KI. That's KI. Keeping it 100. KI 100.
Angelo typed in the TTNL show when he tried to get his Manscaped, and it did not work.
Listen,
he said his buddy Chris gave him the code too.
Angelo called me for the code KI 100. He got the 20% off, no joke, and he's getting it shipped tomorrow. He told me Manscaped, the global. Yes! Manscaped, the global.
I gotta
leader.
admit though, man, their cologne is legit. I was really surprised. I mean, Ela was a big fan, and well, Phil, I think you said Steph liked it too.
Steph liked it.
Yeah.
Listen, anything that can get your wife closer to the nether regions is a good thing, right, Cars?
Yeah. Please break that down on the tape never lies. I'd like to see that as a tape breakdown.
Down for those of you listening with the mute button on, breaking it down. The leaders, the waist grooming, just dropped their Lawnmower 4.0. I hope you're as excited as we are. The 4th generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. And I can testify to this thanks to their advanced skin safe technology. You're not going to be sitting in Claudio's barber chair getting those skin cuts because he's trying to edge you up. Do you or your dad travel a lot? If so, then the 4.0 is the perfect trimmer for home, on the go. The upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on and off switch that can engage a travel lock. So it ain't going to break if it's in the bags that are packed for Green Bay versus Chicago, baby. It also gives you the ability to turn 4,000K LED spotlight on those little hairs, those ball hairs, those chest hairs, leg hairs, whatever you're shaving. It gives the light. Step into the light. And it's waterproof. You can now shave your balls in the dark, the shower, or anywhere your heart desires. This is a long read. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 through 4. The new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length. That means it lasts longer. That's what she said. Fellas, it's time to pull the plug on wired trimmers and your wild bush, Barrelissimo. Especially as you go on vacation. After
it's a bit of a problem, though, isn't it, Phil?
After you guys have clean balls, clean up your cologne game with the refined cologne from Manscaped. With the same signature scent that's in all Manscaped formulas, this cologne is a perfect complement to this collection. Light, approachable, and gentlemanly in all the right ways. If the old man is smelling a little funky, this cologne is a surefire way to change that and make him the talk of the summer. Man of the house deserves to smell like a king. Whether it's a gift for you or your dad or the man in your life, choose Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping with code KI100. Your balls will thank you.
Cars is giving them away to all his new family members. He's very excited about it, Cars.
10,000 subscribers each week. We're going to challenge somebody else to do the read. Maybe we'll bring a patron on to do the Manscaped read next week. So if you want to do the read, which is a long read, but I can say, in all honesty, I'm proud that we're sponsored by Manscaped. I know Chris Jackal is as well. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Well, Phil, like I said, if you want to send him a note, this is the perfect month for us to bring Coach back if he wants to. Because, I mean,
absolutely.
You're pushing 10, 15 at this point, and we're going to do a shorter show or whatever tonight, but you know what I mean?
Shayne's birth of his child is tomorrow. 5:30 a.m.
I was going to make a completely inappropriate Lawnmower 4.0 reference to the birth in the morning, but I restrained myself, and I did not.
Yeah, I don't know. That's how I know you're exhausted right now. Is there some restraint on your side that isn't normally there?
I wish I was. I'm way past exhausted, Cars. I'm way past it. I can't wait to have a couple of days off here. I'm excited about meeting my daughter, and I'm excited about sitting down in a chair and holding her and maybe taking a nap or two with her tomorrow.
I do miss those baby naps on the couch are still the best naps you will ever have in your entire life.
Well, I'm texting Coach just to let him know if he can't, we can reschedule him.
Yeah, we'll have him. I'd love to have him. I'd love to have him back. You know who I'd love to have him back with is I'd love to schedule a show with Coach and your dad.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Excellent.
You can get a lot of stories. I could sense that. You're gonna have to love football, love the game. Beyond.
Yeah, football's terrible. I hate the sport.
If you don't love the game, if you don't love the game, you don't love it. Real quick, how do you guys feel about 1920 football draft?
We talked about it today, didn't we?
We did. My thing with that, Coach Eric, is I feel the Bears don't do enough. And when I say that, it's like, don't give me this Grey Poupon shit.
Well, it looks like they bought a drone, and then that's what they're emphasizing is, hey, we got a fucking drone. Let's fly it over Hallis Hall and show you how dope this is. When everybody just wants to see Tevin Jenkins and Justin Fields and Dazz Newsome. And,
but the hard part is 3 years ago, we don't even have that. 3 years ago, we have somebody trying to hide on a train, try to take a picture at a drive-by. They're way more open than they used to be, but it's still not enough. It always leaves me wanting more.
The reality is, they've never did a Hard Knocks Chicago Bears. It's the Bears don't want that. And that's unfortunate because you know what you should want, Ted, George, and everybody else, is to have people love you. And how do you do that? You let them know you. Just like every guest that comes on.
Those two want more exposure on a national basis.
Exactly. If you're hiding,
of course they do.
I'll say this. I told Lawrence Funk, I said, tell Matt and tell Ryan to come on the show because fans want to know them. Fans want the truth. We want to see what's going on and to have the hard question or to have the conversation of truth. We don't want Larry Mayer's fucking lunch with Larry bullshit.
Oh my God. It's terrible.
We want what Coach is bringing on the table here. The whispers in the hallway, the pressure, the reality of why it's best, Phil, Cars, and Shayne, to not have a quarterback competition, to just let Andy handle this year, and let's prepare this. Whatever it is, I want to hear it from you. I don't want political bullshit. I don't want all of that. Open up your cameras. You're living that life. It's $1 billion business. I don't want to see Ted Phillips celebrating. I want to hear this is the guy we're going to pick. Whatever's going on. I want to be included. I want the fan to see it and know it, and you live it historically. Because we saw that Rex Ryan loves feet, right? And that was a joke for a while. And they had those funny things, remember?
Yeah.
Whatever that shake workout thing, and they were making jokes, and they were embracing it. John Gruden, he doesn't want the camera there or whatever, but he embraces it. You just have to allow the fans in what you have. Again, you're doing it with the fucking, what was it? Club dub. You're letting people come in and see club dub when you win. What about when you lose? What's going on there? That's called
then
reality.
you collaborate and figure it out.
You can't, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know in 2021 that social media is the fucking power of it all. It's the killer. It's it's amazing.
You guys remember when we were interviewing for the head coach and they were interviewing Coach Flip. Yeah. And we kept talking about all the videos that he did on television, breaking down key plays in a game where he would whiteboard on their sports channels, right? Like, I remember sitting there with you guys talking about this. Like, he's going through what they were looking for, what the point of attack was, everything they're doing, and then they get here, and it's like,
it's like
Gentilicki's busy charging up the fucking batteries in the drone.
Let's get Lyrical Lemonade out here and let's fucking do a fucking happy dance. Let's fucking
go buy some Lyrical Lemonade swag. Look, a pair of socks is $850.
What are we doing? You got the wrong people. Gentilicki should be gone. It should be about the reality of football. How did the Justin Fields thing go down? Let's hear the conversation of Ryan Pace talking about him.
We talked about that a little bit. We talked about that today, Phil. You know, there should be more in-depth coverage of that. I'm not saying that you need to give away secrets, but like,
there is no trade secret.
Minnesota put out Minnesota put out like a 15-minute video of the phone, each one of their draft picks receiving the phone call, and you look at the Bears, and the Justin Fields phone call was like 12 seconds or something like that. And I'm like, what are we doing? Yep. They've made moves this offseason that we're happy with, and it gives us a lot of stuff to talk about and excitement. Exactly. Yeah. But it's Cars. That's so perfect that you said that. Phil and I were talking about it today, and if they go through and do this Morgan Moses deal, and I said to Phil, wouldn't it be so Chicago for them to be like, you know what? We're going to slide Tevin Jenkins back over to right tackle now, and we're going to put him there, and we're going to start Morgan Moses at left. That would be so Chicago, and all of us here would be like, oh,
he would play center. Most Chicago thing would be to put him at center over Mustapher because he's stronger or something. Yeah,
we can't do that. We need to go on a level of understanding the game the way the Bears need to. I'm breaking up here.
You are a little bit, yeah.
You were, yeah. I was going to ask.
Just came up.
I was going to ask you if you have chickens.
I don't, but I'm texting these guys because I'm documenting on a different Odom.
So the thing too that I want to say is that an entrenched trader has it a little bit where what he's asking for. Yes, we've freed up some cap space now that we're post. Yep. But this is a point where a lot of folks were talking about whether or not Jimmy Graham is going to stay with the team, and it would not shock me if to make the cap work with the draft picks and to make an $8 million number potentially for Morgan Moses to work, that would be either renegotiation, small extension, or something like that for Jimmy, or if they can find any sort of takers for Nick, who I think we're probably not making a big of a deal that is a distant third in the QB room right now.
Yeah, to me, the move is if they can free up space. To me, the move has always been if now that we've heard about Moses, if they bring him in, and to me, and if they move off of Jimmy to free up space, to me, I'm still looking to Philly to see what happens with Ertz. I think he wants to be in Chicago. His wife plays professional soccer here.
Than Jimmy too, absolutely.
Yep,
so that's a good point.
It's unfortunate. I just, you leave in Jenkins at left tackle, and you
put him there and let him play. Put him there and play. Let him.
There's no way because Moses has been a right tackle his entire time in Washington. I don't see them doing that at all.
And the reality is, it's June, OTAs. It's like there's nothing set in stone, irregardless of where someone took reps today or where they didn't. The reality is,
just think about 2 months ago. Think about where we were April 2nd.
We had Leno April 2nd.
And Andy Dalton and Nick Foles. Yeah.
And we thought that Marsaw was going to be our pick in around 20, right? Like that was where we were. Yeah, if we stayed at 20, we thought that Marsaw would be a guy that we were praying around pick 20.
We were hoping Jenkins at 20.
Yes.
Yes. We were hoping.
But I don't know where you want to go with this, Phil. You're starting to get real
froze,
choppy on your end. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to.
We're going to go forward. What could we do?
No, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what you wanted to. Are you hardwired?
I'm hardwired to their
equipment now. Yeah.
To their equipment. So I took a picture of it, and I'm seeing they're going to have to figure this out.
Yeah.
This was the whole purpose of this.
Can you put up Rodrigo's question for a second? Because I think it's one that's coming around quite a bit.
Oh, about the selling of the team. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I saw him ask that.
Yeah, so you gotta understand, when Virginia dies, there's 11 children. Each 11 children will get an equal split, which roughly is about 7% of the team. It ends up being less than that. You have to be a majority owner, have a minimum of 10% to be considered the majority owner, and every team needs 10%.
Yep.
So the way that this is constructed, George would not, unless he's able to consolidate power somehow and get multiple of his brothers and siblings to do this. This is why this is coming up, because Virginia is old. Very old, and most likely the owner is the future owner would probably either be Ryan, who's obviously a part owner right now, or the guy who owns the casino, who would make Arlington Racetrack happen. So it's not something that is imminent as far as a sale right now, but it is something that they have to look at. Like, this would be a 5th generation ownership. And that sort of thing just does not happen in the NFL. By the 4th gen, there are too many kids, too many grandkids to separate those things. There will have to be a move at some point. So look for either hearing that George is buying out his brothers and sisters with help, or that Mr. Ryan is most likely acquiring more and more of the team.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be. Definitely going down. They're going to sell this team. I really believe that. And to Cars' point, they have to. And
isn't there some huge estate tax also that they were?
That's what happened with the Buffalo Bills, and why the Pagulas are now the owners, is because the real estate tax. Yes, because when Ralph was going downhill health wise. The to Shayne's point, that bill was going to be it's not liquid cash, right? Like, yes, your franchise is $1 billion, but you've got like $30K in the bank. You can't pay the taxes on top of that to inherit. So yes, completely.
I think a couple other things before we go into tweets, Shayne. Dazz has broken his collarbone.
Yep.
They're saying it's a clean break, but that's going to be 8 weeks. But again, with collarbones, as I've known, they have a tendency. You got to be very cautious. With that. So
and let's be honest. I mean, I think that the way that this roster is constructed right now, they can, if they need to push it to 10 or 11 or 12 weeks, to make sure that he's good to go. I think that they, Riley Ridley affords you that possibility. It gives you more time to see if Anthony Miller has his head screwed on straight. And there's some
Goodwin. It's why Goodwin is here. Absolutely.
Yep.
Goodwin.
Yep.
Goodwin excites me. You saw him working out in
just got to stay healthy. It's just got to stay healthy. That's what it all comes down to.
He has that tenacity.
He's got that speed element that
he's got the speed
you don't usually see in Chicago. I mean, it's blinding with him. And the Bears got a couple of guys like that.
We got Mooney. Yes. You got him. There's another kid there. How about this guy? Goodwin has what this guy had. A lot of heart.
Yeah, with
Rashid Davis rocking that TTNL swag with his beautiful child there. Look at that. Out to you, Rashid, friend of the show. Friend of the show. I know. It's freezing up again. This motherfucking internet. I swear to God. Can't catch a break with it. And it's hardwired cars, so it's going up and down. I could see, because StreamYard gives you the signal. Now I'm back. Now I should be clear on your end, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's not an equipment issue inside the house. I mean, I think that's very apparent.
That's and Damian Bird. Thank you, Damian Bird. He's a speedster.
They've got some interesting pieces, right? They've got probably, since Pace has been here, some of the most flexibility at key positions, probably outside of running back, right? There is a lot of, even now with Damian there is some more flexibility. This is one of the more complete rosters he's put together.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be really interesting to see how they put it all together.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to that because Damian. I'm glad they brought up Damian Bird. He's a guy that I usually forget about Goodwin, but Bird is a guy I'm actually pretty excited about. I mean, he had a really, I don't want to say overwhelming season, but a very consistent season for New England and, the mess, what was going on with their quarterback situation. And I think that he's a guy, you get some of these veteran guys in here that can, just get their chance and
it's
catching a ball from Andy Dalton or Justin Fields, however this works out. That's gonna, on a 1-year deal, on a prove it deal, they're gonna go out there and bust their ass because let's be honest, it's all about new paper. That's why you saw Roquan Smith got a call from Akeem Hicks. Hey, don't show up with the rest of the defense. Roquan Smith says, "Fuck you, I'm going in. I want my new contract." Exactly. And good for Roquan. Good. Yeah. I'm glad he did. Hey, step up, and he's the fucking leadership. Cornerstone. 100%.
Now, let me say this real quick on your last topic, where new paper. There's also a new chapter here. Yeah. So there's a new story. Is it Andy Dalton's or is it Justin Fields? And those pieces moving around.
This whole book's about Justin Fields. Andy Dalton's just on the first two pages.
I'm saying, exactly. This season, I'm saying it starts here, Shayne. So now the book gets open. The story isn't written. Dalton decides, Justin decides, whatever. But those players that you're talking about, it's no more Javon Wims is this. This is it. The only guy written into freaking pen is Allen Robinson. Darnell Mooney even has to go out there, show who he is in year 2. Everyone's anointing the guy. And I believe me, I've never seen a rookie go into the Chicago Bears and play the way Darnell Mooney does on tape. So you have to be excited about, but that story still has to be written.
Yes, that leap has to be part of that
story. Exactly. So with Andy Dalton, with Mitch gone, with Andy Dalton or Justin Fields, whatever, those receivers have the opportunity. The Damian Bird might be the star of camp. And all of a sudden, remember Marcus Robinson? Everybody should. He went to the Dave wants to. Dante Jones told me this. Dave wants it's ready to cut him. They send him over to NFL Europe on a final straw, and he blows up over there. Right? How are we going to use it? Well, let's use him like they did over there with the Rhine Fire. Coach,
remember that Cade McNown to Marcus Robinson connection there for a little while? That was the thing.
So
he made so many awful passes look good.
Ooh. He sure did.
We had never seen that. As fans, we were like, holy shit. We were trying to get number 88 jerseys here in Connecticut to embrace that. So the stories are going to be written in camp. We're going to be covering them. It's unfortunate because I was excited about Dazz because we broke him down on our patron side, www.thetapeneverlies.com. Our producers never put it up when I talk about it, but you can go over there and buy swag too. You know who did buy some swag? John McNabb, my boy. I didn't see him in the chat today, but look, he's rocking that swag right there, TTNL swag. And we have some other people who sent some pictures of themselves in. Look at this right here, right behind me. John McNabb, authentic, keeping it 100, Nike authentic stitched jersey. I'm going to rock that when I come to Chicago. Yes, TTNL. We're going to finally get the three of us together, Cars, in a room. The meet and greet.
He's at a I'm not going to make eye contact just so everybody knows. I'm just going to stare at the floor. I have no personality. This is all for
Carter's stuff is going to be like, who's in the Winnebago out in our driveway, honey? Who is that? Oh, that's just
my favorite is when Steph's going to be like, I like Phil. He's my size. This is so wonderful.
She's 4'9". Really?
The whole crew is going to Chicago for October Packers Bears weekend. We're just going to call it. I don't know what college game is going to go down, but I'm going to try to go that Saturday to a college game. If there's one in town, Northwestern, Notre Dame, something like that. And then Bears, Packers. I know Cherie is coming. That sounded very inappropriate.
Yeah, timestamp that one, Jackal.
I can't get away from coming. So what? It's
please
like when I'm
that one.
Did you hear me in the Justin Fields breakdown cars when I was and I'm like, and the defenders are. And I heard Shayne in my head. They're actually running to his face. Yeah. And you hear me transition. Because I only do one take. I got to get through these plays and do it. So I'm just going to keep that.
Actually, Coach was guilty of that earlier. I don't know.
He
you
said
picked it up.
Too.
He goes, the guys, touched my dick for meal. He goes, he touched my dick for meal. Like, oh, all right, we're going to timestamp that one. I heard that.
Absolutely.
Listen, I love this network. I love this show. I love the passion, whatever. But the thing I love most, I can't even put what I love most, to be honest. But I do love our fucking fan base.
Absolutely.
The 100 crew. Yes, 10,000 plus subscribers. Guys, if you aren't subscribed, as Shayne has always said, we have metrics, something that Cars loves, stats. And there's like millions and millions of views, and some of those
minutes. It's even better. It's minutes watched for the month of April. For the month of April, we were 1.2 million minutes watched. Think about that. Yeah,
unbelievable. And that really stands up. Hashtag racist Mike. I don't know what happened.
He's running the swirl machine at Dunkin' Donuts and fucking hazelnut coffee.
Yeah. Some people, karma is
on the charity right now. He's focused on the charity. That's what's going on.
Yeah,
sure.
A positive PR campaign. That's what we're doing. They made fun of me. I love you, Gustavo. Always checking in from Brazil. We love you guys. HL Priest always shouting us out. We love you guys. Honestly, sharing it. Smash the like. Where's Mike Williams? Smash that like button. I love that. Smash that fucking like button. Let everybody know. Of course, we're going to have haters. Claudio, that's what they do. Right, Claudio? They're always
I thought you were calling Claudio the hater.
You want to hear about people talk about coming? There's a show podcast that talked about it for about 5 minutes. It was pretty uncomfortable, but we won't name it. But we won't name it.
I don't want to hear that.
All right,
bye. I do. After I thank you, yes, I said be a friend. Chris Jackal always says be a friend, tell a friend. Put that up there. Be a friend, tell a friend. We're at 10,000. We obviously want to get more. I'm inviting you Just search on Facebook, Keepin It 100 TTNL. There's a private group. If you're a fan of this show so much, jump in there, put on your show. Maybe you got a song, you have something you want us to discuss, or a guest, or another podcast. You see us bring other shows on here. Shout out my boy Ryan Holt. He's doing his podcast. I forgot the name of it, but let me check it real quick. And I'll have that in. I'll have that in the shout out. But I'm shouting out Ryan Holt. I was on his pre-draft show, and he hit a lot of on his mock. I was grading as he goes, and he hit on a lot of those guys. So shout him out. But yeah, anything you do. I'm meeting some music people. We got a guy across the pond, my boy over across the pond. He's gonna take one of our songs and make it one of those like electronic dance. So he wants to do BHL, but I'm like, listen, I need you to start with Keeping It 100. I want to hear what you come up with. So me and Cool Kennedy sent him over some tracks. I saw earlier we are going to have an album coming out this summer of all the TTNL parodies and original songs on an album on the TTNL Network worldwide. Go over there, get some swag while you're at it. I got my give me an offensive tackle or give me death. Now I'm looking at it. I can't even read that. Can you? Because I need reading glasses. Yeah. Can you guys read that?
I've even got to have my own face.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. I love it.
My daughter was like, wait a minute, that guy looks like you. I'm like, that is me. She's like, no, but it looks like you. Yes, that is the point. That is the point.
Get over there.
Not sure if you know, your daddy's kind of a big deal. He's got his own T-shirt.
No,
that's what you got to say.
Because then Steph made sure to lean in and go, don't believe him. Your daddy, nobody cares. So, there's a lot of love in the house. Lots of love.
I don't know what he means here. Aren't we lucky with Justin that we didn't go free agent, so we keep Roquan? Is he meaning pay a big?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. But the cap is going to be astronomical next year. So
not enough. They still screwed the players for next year.
Yeah,
really?
It's
2082 is going to be the max, the ceiling for the cap.
Yep.
Which I mean, it's going to.
Aren't we going to be like 70 million though free? That's what I was told.
50. We're going to be about 50 million free, and with a easy path to about 70
80.
plus.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be good if we
absolutely
just like I always.
That's
say.
when you see Robert Quinn gone.
Or
guys
redone.
like that. Yep.
I'm so excited about Robert Quinn because one of the players, former Bear, told me, Phil, he was so banged up out there playing hurt between him and Khalil Mack. And he's like, listen, this is coming from a player that I fucking trust. And it's not an excuse that other players were, motivated by the fact that these two Warriors were out there playing. So don't write the story off on Robert Quinn. We are standing up in Connecticut. New Haven Pizza again wins pizza capital of the world. That came across my ticker today. Shayne got the witness cars when you ever come.
Damn it. Damn it.
Already?
When you ever come to Connecticut, you are coming out with us to pizza, modern pizza. We took
Just let me know when Angelo is out of state for
I think
prison.
He's got to meet you. No. I have to film it and put that music to it. Some sort of love music.
We got him on a He's going to be doing a taco run on his
on his motor
mini bike. He's going to be handing out free tacos. Compliments of TTNL.
Are we getting the gummy bear real quick?
Yes.
Gummy. So we're in. Greg Braggs has chickened out, or he's in? Chicken Little?
I don't know. He's got a lot going on. He's dealing with a broken wrist at his house. Glenn Braggs.
Glenn Braggs.
I don't know that name. I don't know that guy. We should probably move on to someone who has more than 4 subscribers.
Ben, if you can do beats, DM me. Follow me on Instagram right there at Phil_Toshin. I'm always looking for people that can produce. We had a bunch of producers, Shayne. They all disappeared. They only show up on game day.
Yeah, where the hell? I heard Tooch is building a new house in Mexico and doesn't have internet. Where the hell is that guy?
Oh man, there's a lot of inside jokes, but seriously,
Did you see this, Phil?
Dumbest tweets of the week.
there we go. Let's bring in Claudio as he.
There you go.
There
we got the music.
Wow,
Been a long time.
Got it. Claudio's slacking. I need to turn it up a little bit.
Need it up a little bit?
Yeah.
There we go. Is that good?
Here we go.
A little bit more. I can barely hear it. There we go.
Is that good?
There we go.
All right.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We haven't done this in many months, but Phil's internet still sucks,
Ooh, he's the smartest man. And here we go. Rub-a-dub-dub. Baby, do you do dishes? The smartest man gonna be a dad again. And oh, fuck those blog boy little bitches. He's the smartest man. And these are his dumbest tweets of the week.
Yeah, they've been plentiful, to say the very least, but I always find it very, very funny that the biggest haters on Twitter especially seem to be Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings fans. I mean, you're gonna hitch your fucking wagon to Jared Goff and Kirk Cousins. You know, the teams
the best left tackle moving to right tackle is a brilliant.
Yeah,
move.
can you believe that?
Move.
Can you believe, Phil? Did you see that?
What happened?
Sewell is going to play right
tackle.
Oh,
already.
My God.
I mean, I saw that. And I'm like, oh my God. I had Adam Rank, caught in my brain, him saying, I hope Khalil Mack shoves Penei Sewell so far up Jared Goff's ass that Justin Fields comes out and, it's just, let them. But yeah, I'll get things kicked off here. This guy has been all over Twitter and Dan at Claps Dan.
God, I saw this.
Justin Fields was the fourth quarterback taken here. The fourth quarterbacks taken in previous drafts: 2020 Jordan Love, Drew Lock, Josh Rosen, Deshaun Kaiser, Christian Hackenberg, Sean Mannion, Derek Carr, Matt Barkley, and Brock Osweiler back in 2012. And this is what makes me laugh so hard, is that it means nothing. I mean, yes, you can have history there, whatever. It's like saying, oh, if you drafted the first quarterback that they're gonna work out. No, Chicago has lived that too. He's a Vikings fan, and I'm like, well, what about the seventh offensive tackle drafted? Or the seventh quarterback drafted? I'm sorry, because that's what Kellen Mond was. Does that mean that he's gonna? What are the stats?
Brady? I mean,
yeah. What are the stats for that? And it's, whatever. It's, if he was in Minnesota, this dude would love Justin Fields. If he was in Detroit,
you show that tweet again though.
Yeah.
Because you know what I love about this? Drew Lock, second round. Deshaun Kaiser, second round. Hackenberg, second round. Mannion, third round. Derek Carr, second round. Barkley, I think, was fourth round. Osweiler, fourth round. So if you wanna look at the fourth quarterback taken and not kind of throw in, hey, this is where he was picked, then
11th overall, and could have easily we saw the info out there, Cars, on Jacksonville's board. If Jacksonville very clearly had Justin Fields as QB2.
Yes.
On their board.
Yeah. Cars, you're doing it wrong. You're using logic and reason, bro. You're not supposed to do that.
This is why I always get in fights on Twitter, because I try to point out faults, and people are like, but no, my feelings. And anyway, fuck your feelings. But I digress.
But yeah, we'll skip over here, and here's same guy just playing off of it. Mitch Trubisky is officially listed as QB2 on the Bills depth chart. This means he beat out Jake Fromm, something a certain Bears quarterback failed to do. not a good look. So yeah, he didn't beat out Jake Fromm because of politics, but guess who he did beat out in Ohio State? Anybody remember who had to
guy by the
transfer
name of Joe Burrow, I believe.
Yeah, had to transfer to LSU.
That changes the whole narrative.
Guess what? He was the first quarterback taken 2 cars, #1 overall.
Listen, take pity on Lions fans. Nobody gives a shit about that franchise.
Yeah,
I am looking forward
to
when Sewell retires after 6 years because he's tired of the losing and just doesn't want to do it anymore. Because every player they've ever drafted that has been any good quits early. So if this is clap, Dan, if this is your clap, go right ahead. You probably have the clap.
Yeah.
Let me double
He
down.
got it from his mother.
2 players, Hall of Fame players, and Calvin Johnson retired in their prime,
gave money back
because of the Lions and their organization. So for you to sit there, talk smack, and be a complete utter buffoon, to be perfectly honest, I mean, that has no sense of logic.
Maybe he's not a Fields fan in general, but I mean, just to go out of your way to try to prove a point and say that it's based off, what number quarterback you were in the draft, or Mitch beat out Jake Fromm. Well, come on, you got a lot to worry about in Minnesota, a lot of it, and who knows? Kellen Mond is probably never going to see the field because those idiots are going to extend fucking Kirk Cousins yet again.
Justin Jefferson seems to wish that they might have a different guy throwing him the football.
Yeah, imagine. Jesus. Unbelievable. But so, yeah, we brought them back, but those are the dumbest tweets of the week. And when the season rolls around, that'll be a weekly segment once again, but it's been a little while, so we wanted to jump into that. There's not going to be a cut it out tonight, though, is there?
No cut. No
cut it out, Claudia. I thought you told me privately.
We cut it out for time.
Cut it out. Yeah, we're cutting that out.
Hey, cut it out. That's what's going to be happening tomorrow morning.
That's it.
Gross. I'm a throw up guy. That's where I'll be.
Going to peek past
when Riley was born,
I did.
The anesthesiologist like, come on, you got to get down there. This is a chance of a lifetime. I'm like, you better have some nurses prepared, because I said if something squirts on me or I hear something crack or whatever, I'll pass right the fuck. I'm a baby when it comes to that shit. Not a fan. But the funny part about it was when I did venture down there, Hila said to me, can you ask them when they're going to start? Because she had a C-section.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, babe, there was shit that was in you that's out of you right
sitting
now.
Next to you.
They very much started.
Yes, it is. Women deserve a lot of freaking credit.
You ain't kidding, man.
Because of that, I don't think I could do it. I just keeping it 100.
No, I know I couldn't.
Yeah, it's exciting time
doing it. Mm-hmm.
If you're, real quick, if you're just tuning in, Shayne is going to have a baby girl tomorrow.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a new member of the TTNL family tomorrow. So it's exciting time here for all of us. I do have to give an announcement on the patron side before we go to shout outs. This weekend, there was a death in the family for a friend of our family. My father's birthday is Saturday. George Berlissimo is going on vacation, and Shayne is having a baby. So we're gonna.
I'm not.
You're not.
Having
Shayne's
it, I'll be
wife,
there. Yeah.
Hila, is having a baby, so we're gonna postpone shows this weekend. Just pay attention, set your alerts, because we might pop up.
See, that's how we do it, Phil. You have the baby in June, or you have at the end of February. Like friggin' Pearson's got his first kid coming in September or October. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Not a real Bear fan.
Yeah.
You got to have the baby in the off season. So therefore, got to have the baby, Jerry.
Just like no birthday parties on football Sundays.
No Sunday parties, guys. You always have a Saturday. We could watch the scores of the college game, or you could put the college game on in the background. It's perfectly fine, but you cannot, and I repeat, cannot have your birthday party, your baby shower, your wedding, your anything family, not even a funeral. Put it on Saturday.
That's right.
Not even
during football, during the Chicago Bears.
Jackal had his baby, the week of the draft, right, Jackal?
He still showed up to be.
He did. We got to give him credit.
There he is.
There he is.
That's the sickness in my brain, because I will literally think about that. I'll be like, all right, yeah, well, that's
that. You're going to limit the sickness to just that. There's a lot more than just that. Of
no.
Yeah.
I will readily admit that, but no, Phil's 100% right. I've made major life decisions based around when the fucking Bears play.
I'm like an addict when it comes to the game too. Everyone knows I fucking will go crazy. Claudio can tell you. I got to see every play.
Tell him we got to somehow get you live streaming.
We can do
while
it.
You're watching.
Oh, we figured. Yeah, we figured.
We found the loop. That's going to be exciting.
That's going to have to be on the Patreon side.
Yeah, it is.
That is well worth $7.
But that you can get someone to basically be like an ambulatory service that can actually be the one that sponsors that, right? Because there's going to be a grabber.
Oh yeah, you got. I got to be there to make sure I corral the boys.
Yes.
The boys are running around, and
oh my god!
Wait, when you disappear,
he just gets in his zone.
It's
like
I go into a zone. I go into a zone.
Yeah.
You
see his rants. He goes on a rant for 3 hours of the whole game. It's just it. It's just one long.
You have to understand that the joy for me is I used to see typewritten rants that would be paragraphs upon paragraphs. To see them come out in actual words is thoroughly enjoyable. I don't think I could watch him do that because it would make me so nervous to watch him just screaming at the TV for hours on the end. Totally.
It's entertaining.
It's not just screaming.
No,
I will coach it all up.
Cussing too.
I think it'll be must see TV. I think it would be must see TV to have Phil and I in the same room watching the Bears game together.
Yeah,
because we might need Jackal might need to bring over some fucking mud and some sheetrock to fix shit up.
We are going to be live at Bears Packers Soldier Field, Chicago. We got a big event.
We're going out for burgers, aren't we, Phil?
We got a bunch of surprises. We're going to do a meet and greet, a TTNL meet and greet. We're in the planning, and we're going to have a tailgate with a live Bears Hour live after the game. We also will be in Pittsburgh right there on time.
With the
Monday Night Football. We got a Madden Cruiser. The TTNL Cruiser is going to pull up in Pittsburgh. I can't wait to meet.
Claudio's got to use some of that barber money to shrink wrap it for us. The TTNL flag on the side of the.
We gotta come up with a better name for the RV we're going to be driving down there. We're going to come up with
I'll let you. I said you and Jackal are going to control that whole planning. And then Shayne and I will handle the rest. Shayne has already helped you out. We actually are going to be meeting, for those of you Office fans, we're going to be meeting in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We're going to be parking our vehicles there.
Because Phil's original plan sucked all sorts of balls.
Yeah, Shayne, why don't you drive 20 hours
got in the way.
to come
Phil wanted me to drive 6 hours to his house. Pick
I
those
didn't
guys
know
up.
GI. I thought you came through here.
And then he's like, I said, Phil, how far are you from Pittsburgh? He's like, about 7 hours. He's like, all right, cool. Shayne can drive. Shayne can get the RV. He can drive it to Connecticut, pick us up, and then drive us to Pittsburgh for the game. And I'm like, I don't know about you, but that ain't fucking happening.
We are going to meet and greet, have a lot of fun. This guy right here, John Necrone. I'm gonna put some like my boy Chris Price and Funkster Jones all in Pennsylvania. If you're a Pennsylvania Bears fan, hopefully you guys can set something up, know that area well better than we do, so we can get there and set up this.
Yeah, if anybody's got a big parking lot at their house that we can fit an RV in, let us know.
We will. And obviously,
we'll bring you on the show for free. There you go.
On the show, you could be on the show as long as we get
swag.
Can we plug in?
We'll give it out some swag for sure.
Claudio will connect his Wi-Fi to your Wi-Fi.
How's a red TTNL T-shirt sound? Right?
Yes.
Nice red one.
That's a whole nother story. Well, we will be in Chicago. Let's get to shout outs before we keep Shayne well past his bedtime by doing this. Speaking of Cool Kennedy, he'll be there in Chicago with us. Cherie, all of it.
Shout out, Tape Never Lies. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. From the fans in the stands to the follows on the gram. Thanks for your support, showing love in the DM. We stay Spencer strong, fight together till the end. Now it's time to shout out worldwide friends and fam. Like
the network that keeps it real, 100 crew. So many in the world that I gotta show love to. For some this policy, the show is at its end, but for me it's so important to thank the charter members and the fans. Built the network, speak the truth through the tape. Never run around the truth, no narratives we create. Set them straight, no bubble screen on 4th and 8. Audio Shayne getting nervous cause keeping them up too late. That's it, no more to say to get the shot of vital. But hurry up cause the postman's getting homicidal.
Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too.
The network that keeps it real. SpencerStrong.
Yes, Claudio's least favorite part stays in the show. Guys, it's been a great show. Again, if you're just tuning in at the top, we hit the 10,000 subscribers. For those of you that have given us that maximum effort by lifting your finger, touching your mouse pad or your eye or smart screen and hit subscribe, I want to thank you. I want to smash the like button and continue. I want to thank Coach Reinebold for coming on tonight, joining us. It was so much fun. I'm pissed that we had connection issues and he had to go. We're going to schedule him back on the show because he's got so much more that he has to offer, and we'll bring him on with my dad. That'll be a great thing. So let's kick it off and end this show the right way. Started with Claudio, the barber.
Well, yes. Shout out to all the subscribers again. Obviously, that's just amazing. It's just hard to say how amazing that is. HL Priest, always in the chat, always hooking us, always pumping us up on Twitter. Dude's awesome. Love you, man. Bear Truth also always in the chat, always talking. Like my intro, so I gotta shout you out for liking my intro. Appreciate it. A couple new people in the chat, haven't really seen. Jared Perry, Bears Green, and ATHF 2000. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for coming on. Hope you enjoyed it. And my wife and kids, and to Shayne, your family, your wife. Shout out.
Thanks,
good luck. All right. That's it from me.
Nice, Claudius.
All right.
Cars.
Yeah, so I'll echo Claudio to start. Right, everybody, the interaction is awesome. It's been great. Selfishly, my other one is I got to meet my biological family this past weekend, so I got to get that out of the way and meet a whole bunch of new people who were super awesome. So that was
any nerds in there for Lambda?
No, God, no. That came out very quickly. They're like, you wear glasses. What do you do? But no, I appreciate that. And yeah. So no, other than that, basically. So yeah. But other than that, no, that's it. I mean, every week, everybody's got so much energy in the chat. It's so much fun to see. So I appreciate it.
Chris Jackal, the producer. Can we hear you?
No, he's on mute.
Can't hear you, bro.
It's a weekly occurrence with this guy.
There we go.
That mute button.
I'm afraid I'm going to say something stupid, so I always keep it on mute.
Do you want to do the manscaping?
All right, I do it all the time. Don't worry about it. That's all good.
You have anyone to shout out, bro? You're producing. Good job back there.
Well, shout out to you too, bro.
I appreciate
behind
it.
the scenes, yeah.
Well, thank you. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not stealing anybody's thunder. Two things. One, Shayne, best of luck to you tomorrow.
Thanks, my man.
I would take a peek on every one of my three boys.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I think it's something as a man you should experience.
I'll probably do it. But
you ever see Ace Ventura when he comes out of the rhino's ass? Yes.
Yeah.
Worse than that. It's worse.
Yeah. She's got a much better ass than she's got a much better ass than a rhino.
There you go.
I'll give her that.
I'm with you, Cars.
It's more like the end of Spaceballs than anything.
Yeah.
That's much more accurate.
Speaking of Spaceballs, did you see the helmets that the Vikings are wearing for practice?
Yeah.
No wonder.
Well, is that why Kirk Cousins was throwing interceptions that were perfectly placed to Patrick Peterson? That would be
exactly crazy.
Yeah, those things are sweet.
Shayne is nervous, I think.
He's ready to get off the air. He's ready.
I've been very, very good. Like, Phil, you've known me long enough. I'm not a dude that gets usually kind of chill in most situations. But yesterday, I got home and I grabbed the seat for the car for my truck, and she's like, you need to install that. And I'm like, all right. So I grab it and I walk out, and I'm, the little the safety.
Yep.
It's not a harness thing, but you have to put it down in the hooks underneath the anchor, safety anchor.
The safety latches. Yep.
So I was doing that, and I had to step back because I'm like, oh, holy shit, this is fucking really happening. This was yesterday. I think I sent you and Phil a picture of it. I'm like, this shit just got real for me. And it's like Hila was sitting upstairs tonight, and I'm like, how you doing? She's like, I'm cool. I mean, if I had to go through what she's got to go through, I'd be freaking the fuck out because I'm a gigantic pussy when it comes to stuff like that. But I'm sure I'll be. Like I said, I want all the fingers and toes to be there, and the eyes to be, level, and hopefully she doesn't look like Phil because that would be weird. But
it ain't gonna happen. It's gonna look like the mailman.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
The first time it's true.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be true.
It's gonna be
not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks, man.
You and
appreciate it.
You and the family. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And like I told you privately, I hope she's a sleeper.
Yeah. Oh, me
so that
too.
goes to my second shout out, man. I shout out my wife, my little one, Cannon. He sleeps for shit. And, if it wasn't for her, I probably I wouldn't be sleeping as much as I am. So I'm a pretty lucky dad, I have to say. So I shout her out for all the hard work she's putting in the middle of the night. I also don't have breasts, and we're nursing over here. So, I luck out there.
Still trying to figure out what is the point of
that?
our nipples. What's the point?
I want to get that clip. I want Jackal saying, "And I don't have breasts."
Oh yeah,
that is now going to be.
We got it.
Hey, it's better than all the Phil's coming comments.
Yes.
That's true.
Breastfeeding is definitely a lot cheaper than the formula that I've been stacking up on, man.
I got a can of Infamil sitting over here in the kitchen cabinet. That's like $50 for one.
Oh my god, dude! We bought a case and it was $167.
Yeah, there's a reason that shit's locked up at the
kicking the dick every time.
They don't lock anything else up.
You can buy a thing of evaporated milk at Walmart for like $4, and fucking paid $167 for the same shit. Crazy.
True story. My son Devin had such bad. What is that?
Acid reflux.
Yeah, reflux.
Yep.
And what's
All
that?
three of my boys.
Colicky. Colicky
Yeah.
and reflux. I think they go hand in hand.
Pretty much, man.
But they had to get a special formula, and the blessing was it was covered by insurance, or it would have been putting us in the poor home. So it was like
Absolutely
completely that. So hopefully nothing like that you have to deal with. But it kind of what was bad news ended up being good because it was covered, whereas Enfamil is so expensive and all that.
Crazy.
Shit. So anyway, that's what
I hate
gotta
the smell
say
of it,
about
too.
that.
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh my God! Did you ever taste the powdered formula?
Fuck that. No.
We should
No,
have
the
them
only
do
thing that
that.
I'm actually
That's how you wash down that gummy bear.
I'm freaked out by baby food too. Like some of it, but the blueberry buckle though, that shit's legit.
The
I don't know if you remember
formula
blueberry.
poops are still my nightmare.
Oh
Formula
my
poops.
God! Any of those poops with the fucking seeds in it, with the yellow
See,
mustard.
you
stuff?
guys come here for football, and now you're getting diaper and formula.
Imagine what Angelo's diaper
Where do you
looks
get
like
this?
after. Imagine what Angelo's diaper looks like after his 36 wings that he ordered.
It's all seedy.
With ranch. With his own jar of ranch.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh my God! I love this show. We always keep it 100. Shayne, do you want me to go? Do you want to end it?
Nah,
What?
you can end it. Jackal, Cars, Claudio, everybody, thank you so much. I mean, it means a lot. I know.
Claudio.
We love to bust balls on this show, but end of the day, you guys know that you're my ride or die team, and no matter what happens, I'd be there for anybody if they needed anything. And yeah, for my shout outs, first I want to shout out who this segment is all about. Spencer Cox, Phil and I shared a private moment with Ryan, just asking how Spencer is doing and everything's going, and just so everybody knows, the excitement over the new TTNL baby and stuff. Please keep the prayers coming for Spencer, because what he's going through, it's kicking his ass, but it's proven yet again that he's the ultimate warrior. It's everything that he's got to go through. Every time he goes in for chemo, he's got to get a COVID test, and going through the chemo, he's developed some things from that, and it's affecting his eating patterns. And it's just, this poor kid, it's just been through the entire gamut. And I said, he's truly an inspiration and should be to everybody that is familiar with that situation. So I want to shout out Ryan and Aaron and Spencer specifically, because
Absolutely.
It's I feel it's weird, and I shouldn't, but you never know. You want the best for your kids, and to see one so young having to fight the battle that he's fighting, it just things like that as a parent will make you nervous. And I just I can't imagine having to deal with that on a daily basis. So it's a testament to the entire Cox family, their other children included, because they're a close-knit group, and it's they're a special family through and through. So shout out to them. I gotta go off kilter and piss Cars off here a little bit. I'm going to shout out Greg. They had a little mishap with Addie today where she fell and broke her wrist. So I know that's always tough.
Yeah.
So hopefully she bounces back. Probably not the best way to turn 3 years old, and but kids are resilient. So I think Addie will bounce back real quick. But thank you, 100 crew, everybody that's working behind the scenes for what we do. Like I said, Eel and I have been Riley's 10. Not everybody knows the story, what we have been through in terms of trying to get to this process. Again, as older parents at this point, but it's Phil knows the story. I think Cars knows most of it. It's been quite the process. It's been a long road, and we're right there on the precipice, and I couldn't be more happy to see how this unfolds tomorrow. It's I shaved my face because I want to be able to kiss my daughter and not have her feel my scratchy beard. So that's I'm very calculated like that. So I'm always thinking, but I can't wait to meet my daughter. That's really what my focus is. And saw a couple comments in the chat saying that I was tapping out. It's just, my mind is racing a mile a minute. I'm not gonna lie, for the first time in my life, it's not football 24/7.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So, but thank you guys so much. Like I said, I have a little TTNL Network onesie that Alex Acevedo made for me to give my daughter.
Nice.
And
thanks, Alex.
We'll be putting that on. I put him up to it. It was my idea. But,
I'm fucking with
it. I'll pop a picture of that and share it with the patrons when everything is settled a little bit more tomorrow. But we're looking forward to it, and I know the support. You can really feel it from everybody. So I love all of you guys. It means the world to me that you guys have been really on this journey with Hila and I, throughout this process, because it's been, we lost a baby last year, so it's there's a lot at play here. Why tomorrow, almost this morning is going to be such a special morning for us as we become a family of 4. So I'm really looking forward to it. But I love you guys.
Awesome,
exciting, man.
Did you get it? You guys have a name?
Yeah,
Virginia McCaskey.
Yeah, Virginia
tomorrow.
McCaskey, yeah. I did share, I believe, with
it's Angelo, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not. I shared it with the patrons. Yeah,
Angela.
First name is going to be Emerson, Emerson. The middle name is it's going to be after Hila's father, who's over in Czech Republic. It's Emerson Mira Marsaw. It's spelled Mira.
Nice.
So it's going to be
roll those R's.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said to Hila. I'm like, I don't really roll the R's, but Hila does. I'm like, should I say Mira or should I say Mira? And she's like, you're an idiot. Just whatever, whatever you say. So
the way our wives always build us up is really encouraging. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been saying it the way that she did. So yeah.
You got any Air Monarchs for tomorrow?
What's that?
Nike Air Monarchs for tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
Some white New Balances, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe a little stop at Home Depot, some Bed Bath
Get your jean shorts on.
Yeah.
So tuck into those jorts, man. Make sure the shirt's tucked into those jorts.
Tuck your jersey into your shorts. That's the look.
The one thing that sucks though, going through this
fanny pack
with COVID is that they're not letting my son in to meet his sister.
That happened that happened on our end.
Yeah, it's a tough part, but like I said, thank God for FaceTime, and it's like I said, she'll be home when she's ready to be home. So, and I know he'll be there, but I want to shout out Riley too, because he's been a big part of this entire journey, and it's he's only 10, but he knows what mommy and daddy have been through. So, like I said again, I don't want to bore you guys with all this talk, but I truly appreciate all the support and everybody on here tonight and everybody connected to TTNL Network. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
So with that, we could say this. No, I'm just. I was waiting for Claudio to do it.
No, I was not going to do it. I know
one of these fuckers is going to press.
I would never.
No way.
I'm just used to having it done to me, so I just don't want to do it to anybody else.
When Phil was going on his story about Tate, I'm like, do I just fucking play that to blast one? I guess it, but I didn't do it.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
Yes, another great show in the books. Got to thank Coach for coming on. Obviously, the connection really leaves, it'll bother me tomorrow because I wanted more. And I got to shout out Berlissimo for connecting that 6 degrees of separation, that kind of stuff really comes together, really, to be honest, and him knowing my uncle like that. And I think it'll be better with my dad involved in that stuff. So we'll bring Coach back on in the summer. We'll reach out to him again. It's unfortunate. That being said, this is a night of family. We announced the 10,000 subscribers. I want to thank every single one of you guys that have gone and shared our show and been a part of this. Obviously, each and every week we come in with no script. We produce, we create, we just do whatever is on our mind to bring the best coverage of this team and this game that all of us love. Of course, it's going to be haters. I toast them, because if we're not hating me, Shayne, Cars, Claudio, and Jackal and others, then we're not doing it right. So shout out to you blog boys tonight for fucking being haters and trolls. I got to shout you out. I want to shout out specifically, obviously I'm going to end my shout out with something special, but Armando Laura Jr. made this drawing of me.
Looks just like Matt Forte. Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that a life-size image?
No, unfortunately it isn't. Cars loves all really the short show.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to shout.
Notice
it was on the tee.
Notice all the dirt's on his knees, Jackal.
I get in those games, baby.
Spoken like two guys that have never played the game.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Which game you talking about, bud?
Football. Only talking about football. Grass stains on the knee. You got it all. I really want to, honestly, he's a big fan of our show. He actually found us through our brothers over there on Sean and Maya. So I wanted to thank him for doing that. I want to thank this guy, Tom, big man here, Bob, swagging it up.
Big
Matt Byer. Look at Matt in the mountains wearing his Keepin It 100. And then to go along with this network, and what Shayne was saying, let's change his background. You guys suck at producing. Just letting you know. Come on. Make it look pretty. Here's Alex Acevedo, the swag man, rocking that SpencerStrong tee. If you want to get and
Alex got rid of the puffy curtains.
Yeah, he found
better background.
Is he laying on the floor in this? I'm asking for a
now.
friend.
I can't see this and not think that he's laying on the floor.
Thank you, Cars. You took the words right out of my mouth.
There's Spencer. Fight like Spencer. That's the reality of where we're going. And
that one's got to hurt.
SpencerStrong, TTNL.
Planking. Remember planking?
Yeah. Strong chin. For those of you listening on the podcast.
Oh, that's great.
Alex is laying on his chin, perfectly balanced.
That's awesome.
He's imitating Leno. He's
sweating watching this.
He's doing the walrus. SpencerStrong, you guys find a way to make a serious topic funny. I don't know how you do it. TTNL on the back. Go over there, ttnlswag.com. Yes, just a little business. I want to shout out my son, Tate.
Keepin It 100. Keepin It 100 on my dad's show. My favorite running back. Good. David Montgomery.
TTNL.
I think Phil would let that poor kid play outside and get some sun. It looks a little pasty there.
I don't know what happened to this.
It's been cold. It's been cold up here in Connecticut recently.
I said to Phil, he uploaded that video. I'm like, dude, what the fuck happened? He looks.
I put it through the handbrake
white.
Chain, and it came out like a
so
different.
Weird.
Yeah, that's what happens with me on this live thing. I'm normally much darker. It's the handbrake thing that makes me look
Cars is actually a black dude. I'm not sure if people know. The lighting in Illinois is just different.
Oh, is that? Oh,
normally, I wouldn't look like Casper the Ghost, but this is the way this runs.
I can't thank you guys enough for all of your support, and Christopher Price, Bruce O'Brien, Mark Elliott across the pond wrote such a nice note. Let me just read it. Cheers for accepting, Nate, which is no big deal. I'm a Bears fan from the UK. I've been through all the Bears podcasts out there, and although it took me a few listens to, quote, get it, yours is head and shoulders above the rest. Not blowing smoke, just keeping it 100. These kind of notes and messages mean a lot to us. Lets us know you guys keep us on our toes for what we're doing here. So I wanted to shout, he's a just reaching out to me. And then I wanted to shout out my boy, where is he? Aaron5799, Michael Bardini, also from the UK. He's rocking Shayne. He's rocking a Mike Brown jersey, and he's like this big DJ over in the UK. So he's going to produce a dance track for the TTNL family. If you like that electronic dance, he's going to do some stuff. And my guy, Ahmad Dog 77, my man, he is always supporting us on Instagram and everything we do. Logan Frost, Richard Gordon, obviously Alex Acevedo, Cars, Claudio, Chris Jackal, Tooch. I've sent out a bunch of gifts to people this week. It was a big trip to the mail, like Shayne. I should be having Shayne deliver this mail. They don't even give you a discount though, Shayne, right?
No. Welcome to the federal government, bro.
So I sent out these gifts. Hopefully take a picture when it arrives, send it to us. Let us know how much you love the network or whatever it is that we are doing that you want to see more of. Obviously, when the summertime hits, it's hard to get everybody together on a Wednesday night, but this network just continues to impress me to have that many people tonight. And Coach is just getting back to me, so I'll read what he wrote. That was a lot of fun. Best time I've ever had doing a podcast. I got to do it again. I got to come on again. We are scheduling it. Look, I'm doing this live, scheduling you.
Do we forget about coming back? Or
no, he's having trouble with his internet. We're scheduling you back with my dad in
He's awesome.
July.
Yeah, some great quotes in there.
Oh,
Little
yeah,
time he was
electric,
on, man.
man.
Great mind. You could tell, just such a great mind for football.
Yeah. Josh E., my boy, everybody, my boy Jim Larison. He never gets enough credit. If it wasn't for him helping us understand this game that was being played and helping us get into the right direction, he never gets really enough credit. What do we call him? Yoko?
Yoko. Oh, we don't call him that.
Somebody else called him Yoko. He's our Lennon, not Leno. He's our Lenin. So I got to shout him out. And my wife. And last but not least, I got to shout out Shayne Marsaw on the efforts to become a father. And I don't think people realize in life there's, we only get one life. I always say that. And when you have friendship that goes beyond a show, like this isn't show, this is real. You see the struggles and know the innermost secrets or trials and tribulations, heartache, to be there for you as you take this journey. Obviously, it doesn't end at the birth. It begins again. Life begins. So Uncle Phil will be there, and I can't be more happy for you and Hila. Thanks. I know the nerves are there, and I'm totally with you when those car seats go in. It's like
it's real.
It's real. Yeah. It's like when you
put switch flipped, man. Yeah. Immediately.
That drive home, man. That drive home.
For those of you youngins and millennials that haven't been a father yet, and you've played the game of football, it's like you go out for specialties, we call it, warming up, kicking, get loosened up, do calisthenics. Then when you're walking out and the marching band is playing and the lights are on and it's about to be kickoff, that's when it's real. That's what it's like when you see those car seats. It's like, all right, now the game of life is about to be played. So there's no better person I know in regards to character, empathy, and brotherhood than Shayne Marsaw. And you could say whatever it is you want and hate, but this network stands to where it is with you. So as you take this journey to be a father, I shout you out. I'll be praying for you guys. And
absolutely,
I can wish you nothing but the best. You deserve it.
I bet you'll be sleeping when I have to get up, though.
Oh yeah. Well, my alarm will be 6:18. I set my alarm 6:18. I don't know why. Whose number? Kevin Butler and Mike Tomzak.
There you go.
You're just going to disrespect Kyle Orton like that?
I was going to say, that's Kyle Orton's number 18.
Claudio was like, where's Cutler?
No Cutler. Postman. 8. You got an 8 in there.
Yeah.
6 and 18. So 6-18. I'll be up. All of you guys again.
Butler, Fields, Grossman.
What do we want to? What do we want to roll out to, Shayne? What do you want to go out to?
Bed.
Just a quick ending.
Yeah,
he was quick ending.
Yeah, I don't need any music. I just
he's tapping his arm. Right. He's like, I'm
ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm like looking at my phone every 30 seconds because I'm like 2 floors away from Ela now. So it's a different setup.
He's not going to sleep a wink. But
I won't. Yeah.
Godspeed tomorrow, Shayne. That's
Thanks,
awesome,
bro. Yeah.
Guys, Leno is gone. That is it. We don't need to play that anymore. We will say goodnight. Tomorrow, we welcome a new member to the TTNL family, the 100 crew. God bless you. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And next week, we'll be back Wednesday night. DM me if you need anything. Our DMs are all open. Everybody here is willing to help out. We're here as a family, and family first. Hit the like, subscribe, do all that shit. Good night. God bless.
This has been a Shy City Sports presentation and a Tape Never Lies Network production. Keeping it 100. Thanks for tuning in to the Tape Never Lies Network.